Slash and Cast.
You know what? I'm starting off with a get off my lawn.
Okay. What is it?
Get off my lawn when my gardeners come to do my lawn right when I'm starting a show. You hear it?
I don't hear it, fortunately.
You don't hear that?
No.
It's loud as balls here. Anyway, get off my lawn, guys.
Literally, get off his lawn.
Literally, get off my lawn.
Trying to figure out what episode this is. Has it been 3 months?
No, really?
That's what it says 3 months ago. Let me look.
Holy shit.
Let me double check, make sure. Thing with two heads.
Wow. 3 months.
Yeah. Wait, nope. 2 months. We did a live 2 months ago.
Wow, that's still a long time.
Yeah. So this is episode 63.
63. Woohoo! Welcome everybody to episode 63. Sorry we've been gone for so long. And sorry for my lawn guys. Jesus.
Yeah,
so
not cool. No bueno.
No bueno, man. How's it going? How you doing? Busier than hell, huh?
Yes. Yeah, it's been
taking these off.
It's been really stressful recently.
Yeah.
I had a very big weekend. I had people at like 4 different shows, 20 at like Horror Hound and like 20 at Silver Scream.
Yeah.
And I'm still just trying to get sorted from getting back from that. I mean, I'm still unpacking, and it's really been a bitch kind of keeping it all together because I got multiple people going to multiple shows, and this guy's going there next weekend. How do we get his stuff there? I'm not going there. You're going there. You take that. I'll take this. I went to Horror Hound with 4 suitcases, pretty full, but had some space. Came back with all of them jammed.
Wow.
Like came back with more stuff.
Did you buy stuff, or you had to take other people's stuff back?
I had people bringing me stuff from previous shows that they had took home with them.
Gotcha.
And it was, it's...
Did you have anybody at Famous Monsters?
Yeah, well, no. I mean, Wednesday 13 was there, but technically that wasn't through me.
Right.
Because he knows the promoter personally. But yeah, no, it was
it's crazy.
Quite a weekend. Yeah. And then I get home and I immediately have to drive to Burbank to do a signing all day yesterday, right over by your house.
Yeah.
And and dude, it took me 2 hours to drive up there from Orange County, and it took me 2 hours to drive home.
Ooh.
Traffic was terrible.
Brutal.
Yeah. It's brutal. And then today I had to take my car in to be serviced, and that,
serviced.
Yeah. Not like that. But I had an appointment booked, so I had to get up early, take the car in, big pain in the ass. They have to get you a rental, takes forever. And now I got to go back tomorrow and pick it up. And they said it'd be done tonight, but we're going to be doing this. So they said, oh, you can get it in the morning. I'm like, okay.
Busy man.
Tomorrow I'm supposed to go to this party in Hollywood that I was invited to. And I don't want to go. But it does sound pretty awesome. And I've heard a few of the people that are supposed to be showing up for it. It's kind of a rock and roll thing. Mm-hmm. It's like an art show for a famous rock photographer, that guy Mark Weiss, I think's his name, and somebody else. Not a photography art show or something. I don't even know. But I know like Gene Simmons is supposed to be there, and
Gene Simmons.
He's going to want to talk to me about Kiss. And
talk about Kiss.
There's just a bunch of who's who of fucking metal
Oh, that's
and I
cool.
know
I
I'll see
wasn't
the pic.
invited to that. I
You were
wasn't
not.
invited.
You were not. No, no, you don't even know about it.
Oh,
But I was invited from a mutual friend of the guy putting it on, and he's like, "Dude, you got to come with me." I was like, "Fuck, I don't want to go back to LA. Two days in 1 week."
yeah.
And then Friday, Nay leaves to Connecticut for Connecticut Horror Fest, and then I gotta go to CreepyCon, which is in Pomona.
Uh, creepy IE.
CreepyCon,
Creepy Con. That's the one in Ontario, right? Or something like
yes,
that. Yeah.
Ontario.
Right. That's the one I went to last year. I didn't appear there. I just went. You
Oh
got
yeah,
me in and I went.
that's right. Yeah,
Hung out for a bit. Yeah.
yeah, it's a fun show. I mean, this is their one. It's called Aftermath, so it's kind of Son of Monster Palooza ish, but
Right.
it's a little leaning towards pop culture, and not as it has horror, but it's a little more pop culture infused.
Gotcha.
So
Look at that.
what did you do? Oh, that cool.
Fogs and everything. It's my haunted log
That's
stump.
cool. Did you make that?
No, I bought it recently for Halloween
From where?
decorations.
That looks cool.
Place called Traditions in Canoga Park.
Oh,
Got all kinds of Halloween stuff.
did they make their own shit? Is that or is that
No, they just sell a bunch of shit. And I got that because I love it. And it fogs. All you gotta
yeah,
do is put water in it and it fucking does that. Look at that.
that's cool.
Come on.
So today our guests on the show is going to be Peter Santa Maria. It's a heck of a name. And Hector Arce. I don't know if it's Arce or Arce. I'm not good with these Latin names, Very white individual. I'm very
It's very Anglo, yeah.
very, very, very Anglo.
Yeah.
Anyway, from Mondo, the gentlemen are good friends from Mondo. We're going to
Yeah.
talk about some new products, one of which might be sitting right over there. I won't say if it is or not.
I won't.
But
Want
yeah,
me to get rid of that? Want me to surprise it?
no. Now you're making people look at it. But that's all right. So now, don't
It's
look
okay.
at
Look
it.
at it. I'll break. Don't look at it.
Don't look at it. You've seen enough of that one.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about some upcoming products today.
Sweet.
And because we loves the Mondo.
Love the Mondo. Got my McCready super awesome figure with the spider head and the dog and everything. Man, I love that thing. I love that thing. And I'm so thrilled that they sent that to us.
Oh yeah, that thing's badass. And
it's so badass.
And if you're regular watchers of this channel, you will have already seen my episode I did unboxing it and putting it together and all that good stuff. So and you can see, I'm sure you all saw just how freaking amazing that thing is. And if you haven't watched it, watch that video because I go into deep dive into every little piece.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I
the
love
likeness
it so
is
much.
killer.
It's so killer. It's a great piece. And I'm so thrilled that those guys sent that to us. I love the guys at Mondo. They're amazing. They treat us great. And I'm glad they're on the show. It's going to be awesome to have them and to learn about new stuff and show you new stuff. So it's going to be cool.
I've just been informed.
Yes.
I will not be getting the item that you got.
Oh, okay.
Because he put the wrong address on the box.
Oh no.
And he without asking me, he shipped it to my old PO box, which is now a empty space because that mailbox place closed down. So
well, I will unbox. We'll just show off what I got.
Yeah, well, it's going to be sent back to me, apparently. I just won't be able to show it here and all that good stuff. But oh well, I just got the text as we're talking. I've been sitting there waiting for this thing to show up, and then he showed me the address he sent it to, and I was like, ooh, wrong address. But that's okay.
That's okay.
Life goes on.
Sorry.
I got a few things here, letters and whatnots.
Okay. Letters. We get letters.
There we are. I was waiting for that. Don't let me down.
I got you.
Oh God, this is a long letter. Oh boy, it's a big one. Let's see. Make sure it's actually about us.
Yeah, right. Once upon a time.
I think it's more about my crap. Hold on, I don't want to.
My crap.
I mean, I mean, if it's talking about our stuff, then I don't want to just go on some long letter about how great my collection is.
Great you are.
Yeah, this is all about how awesome I am. We'll move on to this one.
Yeah.
But Cynthia Griswold, I thank you, and I read this to myself. Okay, let's see here. We got more letters.
Letters. We got more letters.
Here we go. So it's when it starts off, Dear Sean and Chris. It's got to be gold.
It's got to be gold.
I'm late to the party, but I've recently discovered your podcast and have been going back to listen to all of the episodes from the beginning. It is a little like a time capsule hearing you guys talk about all the craziness in the world since episode 1 of the podcast. I wanted to write in to let you guys know that I love hearing your perspective on some of my favorite horror movies from you and your amazing guests. Chris, I didn't realize how much of your work that I was a fan of until I started listening to The Thing with Two Heads. Your podcast has been the soundtrack to my work days for the past several weeks.
Ooh.
I hope to meet you guys someday at a convention. I hope that you like that I included magnets that I designed and made myself as a token of my appreciation for you both. The dog on the magnets, here, this is, I'm going to take, it says for Sean on one and for Chris on the other, but they're both the same. There we go. This is it.
Nice. Squinting so I could see it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Huh?
I'm squinting so I could see it. Only because my eyes are bad, not because I can't see it.
Roscoe the pug, it says.
Nice.
The dog on the magnet is my pug Roscoe and a vintage kaiju inspired poster. He is a terror in his own way, but I thought you might appreciate them. I wanted to ask if you guys would kindly send back a signed Thing with Two Heads 8x10 picture. I'd love to add it to my collection. I think I did already. If I didn't, let me know. I think I did. I'd love to add to my collection. Thank you again. Sincerely, Corey H., Vernon, New York. P.S. Get off my lawn is when I'm buying alcohol, whether at the store, bar, or restaurant. I always make sure to have my ID out and ready to go, knowing that they're gonna need it. But then the cashier asks me for my ID anyways, despite my
We have a swig of water, pronounce the word.
Get the spit out of my mouth. Conspicuous effort to give them the ID before they can ask. It's like they think I'm going to get one over on them. Get off his lawn.
Get off his lawn. Thank you, Corey.
Thank you, Corey. And I'll make sure to I got Chris's right here. It says for Chris. So
awesome.
I should have brought this yesterday when I was by your house.
Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you so much.
Speaking of things I dropped off by your house.
Yeah.
I have another letter here.
Oh boy.
And this says Sean, because we each got our own box. You might have your own letter.
I do have my own letter.
Sean, thank you for everything you do for us in the horror world. Without Convention All Stars, LLC, many of us would never get to meet our favorite stars. Keep doing what you do, and I'll see you at Mad Monster Atlanta. My new stickers arrive next week, so I'll include them in the box for Mr. Nelson. I should have it done in a day or so. I hope this helmet finds a cool display shelf in your collection. Keep doing badass shit and be safe. And this is from Charles Ecton. He did a little drawing here.
Nice.
Says
nice,
your helmet and helmet on the way. And when he offered this to me, I was so stoked because I am a huge fan of John Borman's Excalibur, and I've always wanted this helmet.
Yeah.
And it's
got one too.
How cool is this?
very cool. I
Now,
love it.
it does not fit me.
Then it ain't gonna fit me. I haven't even tried.
Give it a shot.
No, fuck no.
Just see if it won't even come close,
No,
right?
that's as far as it goes.
Yeah, but a very cool display piece.
Yes, indeed. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, I bet you if you dremeled out some of these grooves here, I might be able to get it on my big noggin because it's. But I don't know. It may not be worth the effort. But
no, I like it just as a display piece. I think it's super cool, and thank you for this. I love it. It's super cool. Sean dropped it off to me the other day, and I love it. It's super cool. I love Excalibur, and this is super awesome, man. Great job. Good job on that.
Yeah, that's very cool.
I won't read my letter.
Why not?
Okay, I'll read the letter.
Does it get sexy? I don't know if it does.
It's a little sexy. It's a little sexy. All right, here we go. Mr. Nelson, I know you do not remember since you meet so many people, but I had the pleasure of meeting you twice. And I do remember this, by the way. The first time I was a BG on the set of The Exorcist Believer. And during a break in the BG means background. And during a break in the filming, I broke the golden rule and approached you to tell you I was a huge fan. You were so nice and cool. It was a great experience for me. Also pretty cool seeing myself in the scene where Catherine walks down the church aisle. Good stuff. I do remember you, and I do remember that. And it was awesome to meet you. The second time was at horror convention. You and Ryan Turek were walking around, and I bugged you for a picture with me and my mobile hedge wall. Once again, you were cool as hell. Thanks for being so nice. I hope this helmet finds a nice display shelf in your office or home. It was my first attempt at sculpting something and making copies. Well, good job. It is my pleasure to give you something since you have been gifting us horror fans with great effects for years. A couple stickers. One's for you, Sean.
Okay.
And one's for me, of him with his hedge. He dresses up as Michael Myers, and he has this rolling hedge display that he peeks out from behind, and it's awesome. It's so hilarious. Let me show you.
I've seen him at a show.
Yeah, that's him. And
great idea.
Here's what it looks like.
That's rad.
Yeah, isn't that rad?
Yeah.
So super cool. Great job. Great job with this cosplay, and great job with the helmet. That's your first time, then you're on your way, buddy.
Yeah, seriously, that's badass.
It's badass. So thank you so much. Couldn't be kinder.
Okay, I've got another letter here. It says, "Dear Sean, Chris, and Nay." I guess she's now part of the pod.
Part of the pod.
I love the podcast, hearing about the new items, movies, and most of all, Get Off My Lawn. Do one just on that so many would watch. I guess we just need an all Get Off My Lawn episode.
That would be so annoying.
Probably be our biggest one ever.
Probably.
I would like to see Chris online just play guitar. He does good work, not your movie. What? He does good work, not your movie. It fails. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either, but okay.
I know I told you about my mom passing, all the stories like Woodbury sent her free stuff all the time. Conventions, so many, signed a card to be sincere. Nay, I know you only made so many houses. It was a nice to give her my mom. Okay. I ended on damn weekend over my gallbladder. Maybe the gallbladder's affecting the writing. Amazing, you kept one for me. She loved it. Her favorite movie. I had 3 operations myself. See, this is it. I miss going to cons. I had some help, but I have an and Doomhead that are amazing. I found out Bill was 20 minutes from the house a few weeks ago. I'll get it done. I wanted to thank all of you. Made my bad days better. Helped cons. Made my mom happy. The podcast, she enjoyed to listen. All of you people smile. All of you make people smile. Thank you, Carlin Munster, who I know who she is. I felt. P.S. I fell after I got home writing this. Tough. Prayers to Mom Teresa, #1 Halloween fan. She'd like to say totally a lot. Well, I appreciate that. What are you laughing about? No, there's a lot to unpack there.
There's a lot to unpack there.
And there was also a little card, and it was
that's
some glitter.
Sweet. Oh,
it says, "Tell the dogs hello, dear Sean, Nay, Chris. Thank you for all you do. It touches so many hearts." I added a note to just some examples. R.I.P. Teresa. She loved it. Thanks, Carlin and Teresa. So sad to hear about Teresa. We can't afford to lose any fans.
No.
So, if Herbert West is out there and you can bring her back and she'll still watch the show, we're on board. All jokes aside, deepest, sincere condolences, and we thank you for watching, and hopefully that just made you laugh.
Yes, thank you so much, and our condolences to you. Speaking of condolences, I'm just something that came up recently that I just want to talk about real quick. Is my mother passed away recently since our last show. She was a good lady, supported me in all my endeavors and my dreams of working in the movies, and she was pivotal to me, taking me to the movies a lot, taking me to Universal Studios a lot, and always supporting me. I took her to the Emmys once. She had the best time, even though she had to go to the bathroom every 5 minutes. And she was a good lady, and I will miss her. And thank you all for the outpouring on Instagram of condolences. I really appreciate that, to all of you, and thank you so much. So there you go.
My dogs are fighting in the other room. I hear feet pattering through the floor and growling. So
I wish I could have my cats out here. It would be great. You know, every time I feed my cats, you know that song "Fool for the City"?
Yes.
It goes, "Fool for the city." Yep. Every time I feed my cats, every single day, I sing "Food for the Kiddies." Well, I sing it out loud, and Stephanie just goes, she just shakes her head. I always go, "Food for the kiddies."
I have one. I have a song I sing every time I feed the dogs.
What?
It's so stupid. I can't believe we're talking about this. I do the Ewok song, but I say num nums. I go num nums, eating some num nums. and I da 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 num nums. You want the num nums?
And they probably know exactly.
They know the song. Means. As soon as I start, in fact, I heard them just pause because they heard me singing it. Now they're like this.
Yeah, my cats do the same thing. My cats, as soon as I go, "Food for the kiddies," they come running over to the bowl.
That is rad. Now I know we're going to receive stupid artwork of like Ewoks dancing with dog bowls and shit like that. Right. Don't send them. All right. Let's see. Got more stuff here. Another letter here that's kind of falling apart for some reason. Greetings. Here are some postcards that I thought were cool. Let me show them.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
There's a penguin postcard. This is Arches National Monument near something in Utah.
Okay. Very nice.
Oh, this is
America.
Salt Lake City. I think this is actually was one of the locations from Carnival of Souls.
Oh. I just watched that again recently. That was
Carnival of Souls.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I like Carnival.
So postcards.
Very cool. Thank you.
I love your podcast. Chris does amazing effects makeup. Sean, your collection is freaking awesome, and I love your videos. Do you guys have any reoccurring nightmares? In the early 90s, I was so excited to receive my first ever email from my favorite uncle. I was beaming with excitement until I opened it. It was a picture of Alf with a sombrero.
Just thinking about that for a second, but go ahead.
I freaked the hell out and started crying. My uncle knew I was afraid of Alf, but didn't think I would react that way, and he felt bad. Anyway, I'm 38 now. And
Is this
still,
from David Lee Roth? This is from
no. And still occasionally have nightmares of Alf attacking me, which sometimes paralyzes me until I wake up. I really hate that alien. He's creepy. When I was 2 years old, the first horror movie I saw was Serpent and the Rainbow, but apparently I'm still scared of a puppet. Go figure. Some questions. Chris, if you could go back in time, what movie or TV show would you want to have makeup done for, or have done makeup for?
Oh, well, that's easy. I mean, The Thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you guys had a choice to be in any movie and be an extra in it, what would it be?
An extra. I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is The Godfather.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
For me, it would probably be The Shining, just because I would love to have walked on those sets.
Yeah, that'd have been cool.
Otherwise, maybe Kiss Meets the Phantom.
Oh, that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
I know someone that was in that movie as a BG.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's producer's daughter. She was in the pyramid when there's some kids doing a pyramid at one point.
Yeah, you told me about this.
She's in that pyramid.
She's in that scene?
Yeah.
That's rad.
That's rad.
Have you ever asked her which one she is?
Yeah, you could see her. She's like in the middle. She's a blonde girl. You could see her. She's right there. You could see her.
If you guys had a choice, what type of makeup would you want done on yourself?
What type of makeup would I want done on myself? You mean like a character, or
I'm guessing like I'm assuming they mean a special effects makeup job.
I don't know. I don't know. I've had stuff done on me. I don't know.
I've never really had anything done to me. I mean, I was Edward Scissorhands for Halloween, like in the 90s, and Darren did a makeup on me, but it wasn't very elaborate, really scars and
right.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. I've done so many makeups on myself, and also have had makeups done on myself. I mean, I've done Kiss, and I've done gore stuff, and I've done a bunch of stuff. I don't know. That's a tough question. Can't answer it.
Do you guys have any good foreign horror movie recommendations? Foreign, specifically foreign. I'd go where evil lurks.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, there you go.
When evil lurks.
When evil lurks. Yeah.
When evil lurks. Yeah. That's a good movie. Argentinian, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Thank you guys for all the hard work and dedication that you put into the horror craft. It would be very much appreciated if you can sign a sticker back to me. All my best, Jolin, Jolin, Jolin. I'm
Toby Wong.
Toby fucking Charlie Chan. I think I signed one and sent it back.
Okay. Very cool.
I don't remember. I think I did. In my mind, I want to say I did. My buddy who does this unfazed review, it's a YouTube show. He sent me a bunch of stickers and a couple t-shirts, and I just wanted to give him a shout out.
Very cool.
Because I've got a bunch of these now. A gift I was given at Flashback in Chicago. John Robertson, I don't know if that's supposed to be the fourth. It's John Robertson. He's one of many John Robertsons.
One of many.
He gifted me a frickin' brick.
A brick.
From the Lolita Creamery from Halloween 3.
Wow.
And it comes with the letter from them saying it's from the creamery.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so I got an actual brick, and you can see this is the color that was inside. If you went inside the creamery, it was that color.
Right.
But yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
You got a brick.
That's cool. I'm excited.
I got a rock.
Yeah. I'm like Charlie Brown. Another guy sent me a little gift. What's his freaking name? Steve McCall. He I guess he designed some old NES games, like horror games, for Nintendo, the old Nintendo. I played them. Actually, the Candyman one didn't work for some reason. It was the Candyman one didn't work. One of them didn't work. I tried all of them, but he sent me this little letter with pictures from. I mean, they're that kind of thing,
right?
But actually, pretty fun. I mean, I tried them. It was just kind of cool. They're cool, retro-y. I've got my old game system set up, so
nice.
Why not? I appreciate it. Let's see what this is. Oh, I think maybe I'm supposed to send somebody something that's got stamps on it. Here we go. Oh, shit. I don't think I've really looked at this one yet. All right, this says...
Is this to you or to...
No, it's to us, dude. Calm down. Jesus. He's like, you're getting gifts. I didn't get nothing. Well, you got the Mondo thing that I didn't. Sean and Chris, I have discovered your podcast just this year, and it's the only podcast I listen to. I really enjoy it. Maybe I'm the only female, ?
Be.
I hope I can run into you guys at a con one day. I plan to go to 2 cons this year, and I found out from your podcast both are the ones you will not be attending. Crying. Just kidding. I attended the local Atlanta Poop Fest, Days of the Dead, and will be going to the Charleston Spooky Empire in August. I wish I knew why you dislike these cons.
That's a whole nother show, isn't it?
I never said I dislike Spooky Empire. Me and that guy had a little beef. We're good now. Things are fine. Days of the Dead is garbage, and I think that guy's a piece of shit. So that's why. I keep listening to see if you will spill the tea. I get 2 cons a year to choose from, and if you could choose 2 to attend, which would you suggest? where are you? I'm assuming you must be in that area.
Assume that she could go anywhere.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say, if you're in that Atlanta area, Mad Monster Party has a show there. That's good. But if I could pick only 2 shows to go to, Horror Hound Cincinnati would be one, and that just happened this past weekend.
Right.
Second one. Oh, it's tough. I don't want to. I'm gonna have a bunch of promoters going, "You dick! You didn't say." I'd probably say Texas Frightmare.
Wow. Okay. Not Monster Palooza, huh?
See, Monster Palooza is great. Monster Mania is great.
There's a lot of
Monsters great. Spookala's great. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you the ones not to go to. Just message me.
Speaking of, sorry, go ahead.
I'm not done. Still letter.
All right. Sorry.
I've sent a self-addressed stamped envelope for a signed pic and sticker. I think I might be out of signed pics. I think I need to have you sign some more.
Okay.
That might be why I didn't send it. Let me look real quick, see if I do have any more. I think I'm out. I think I just gave out the last one. Food for the city.
Food for the kiddies.
I might adopt that and start going, food for the puppies. Oh, here we are. Yep, I am out of. Next time I see you, I'll have to get some signed.
We'll get them signed.
So
We'll
sit
get it.
tight, Amy, because I want you to have an authentic Chris Nelson autograph, not some bad
Fake.
job by me.
Yeah.
Sean, would you consider yourself an elite now? Millionaire status?
That's a yes. What?
I ask this because if the answer is yes, how does it feel knowing you did not grow up with money? You seem very laid back and humble, and I so appreciate this. You and Chris both are very relatable to me as a Gen Xer. The music and stories, just love them. Anyway, sorry if this is too personal, but I was just curious, and I'm very proud of your success and hope it continues. Then there's questions asked of you. Okay, how do I address this? I'm not very comfortable talking about my personal financial stuff. But nowadays, if you live in California and you own a home, you probably are a millionaire. But I don't really want to get into how much money I have.
That's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, you know, I pay a lot of money to not have to answer these questions.
That's right.
Don't I have people that review these?
No.
How did this slip through?
That slipped through. Eating dogs and cats.
Yeah. Don't get me started. Okay, Chris, maybe
What?
Sean can. Chris, maybe you can, Sean can watch the movie I sent for both of you and give a review. I walk around my house saying, Devil times 5. Quite often. So thank you. I mean, you've seen Devil times 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've both seen it. So
it's not a great film.
but it's so bad it's kind of good.
It is, yeah. Devil times 5.
So here we have a
thank you.
We have a loose DVD of it.
Thank you.
Chris, what is your favorite thing to do when you're not at work?
Oh.
Singing to your cats?
I like to dance. You know. I play a lot of guitar and play a lot of bass and listen to records and sculpt masks and you know, swim in my pool and drink margaritas, and it's quite the life. So yeah.
Thank you both for an enjoyable 2 hours of brainless fun. Hey. Whoa. There's a lot of meat on this bone. All right.
Brainless fun.
That I can listen to when I'm not working on drug development and pharmaceuticals. Mind numbing. So appreciate it, Amy.
Did she just call us mind numbing?
No, she said her work in pharmaceuticals is mind numbing.
Oh, I was going to say, so she's like brainless and mind numbing that we are. That was my nickname in high school. Chris Brainless Nelson. Mind numbing Nelson.
Yeah. Yeah. Bootleg as fuck toys. Yeah, this guy's rad. See this?
Hold on. Let me put my glasses on. Oh, nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Wow, very cool.
I asked why killer dwarfs.
Right.
And he said that just kind of in relation to the shirt the kid was wearing in the gate. I guess I made some reference to it, and
all right.
I wasn't
cool. I don't get my action figure. That's cool. I don't know. Speaking of conventions, I've been getting a lot of messages.
It's been getting so many messages, people. They're flooding in like the Haitians, eating the cats and the dogs. Tasty treats.
A lot of messages of people asking me if I'm going to be at this con or if I'm going to be at that con or if I'm going to be at this con. If you want me to be at a con, I guess call the promoter. Yes.
Email
or email the promoter of the con, or
spam their social media.
spam their social media. Ask them to have me.
Bring Christopher Nelson. Christopher Nelson will be appearing though Friday night at Son of Monster Palooza in Burbank.
Yes,
with the two girls from The Exorcist, who
that's right,
are going to be there, hopefully promoting their new pop figures.
Hope so. Are we going to have pop figures there for signing and buying?
We're hoping. Hold on.
I will be at Son of Monster Palooza Friday night with the two lovely ladies from Exorcist, Lydia and Olivia. And we will be signing your Exorcist pop figures if you got one, or if maybe they'll have some at the convention. I don't know. Sean's going to tell us. Look at those.
We are hoping these will be available by then.
Super cool. More pop figures for me that are my makeups. I have them all up there of characters that I've done. I have them all up there, and now I have two more, and I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, we are hoping that those will be available. If not, they will have photos and whatnot you can pick up, or bring your Blu-rays or whatever. Hopefully. Right. I mean, we've got a couple weeks. I don't know if when Funko's gonna start shipping those, but I've had those for.
I have the Olivia one. I have the Catherine one. It was at Amoeba Records.
No.
Yep.
You
they had one. I don't have both. I just have. They only had the Catherine one, and it was Stephanie got it for me at Amoeba. She went to Amoeba Records last week, and they had one, and she got it. So I have that one. Yeah, it's weird, right?
That is weird. Okay,
so
I'm gonna have to look at it. So hopefully they're out there. I also got this sweet little gift in the mail today.
Sweet little gift.
Happy Funkoween from your friends at Funko. And they sent me this cool little Frankenstein.
Nice. I don't get stuff sent to me from Funko. That's cool.
No, because I'm now a partner with the Funko people, because I'm kind of a big deal, and you know, the Funko people clearly have good taste.
Right. Obviously.
I also got this.
Or bad taste, or they have really bad taste.
One of my friends out there in the I just pulled a muscle. That's what happens when you get the
See what you get. See what you get. That's karma, bitch.
Sent me this gift. Whoops! Almost dropped on my head. Monster cereal. Playing cards. They're like decks of cards.
Cool.
They're really rad. All the they have Fruit Brute, Yummy Mummy. They even have the new Carmella Creeper chick. You know what? The Carmella Creeper thing. Let's talk about it. Get off my lawn. And you can get these, by the way, at it's Fulton's Playing Cards. I think they're going to be available online. FultonsPlayingCards.com. Those are very cool. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate mine too.
Send him one, would you please? Send him one so I don't have to hear about it. Please send another one, or I'll never hear the end of it. Funko, don't worry about him.
Funko, thank you for my pops. Thank you so much.
Carmella Creeper. Come on. How do you mess that up? How do you not do Bride of Frankenberry?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Or even Creature Crunch, like Creature of the Black Lagoon.
Black Lagoon, yeah, sure.
Come on, guys. Also, one last shout out. I want to give a shout out to Halloween Shirt Company, HalloweenShirtCompany.com. Nay bought a couple shirts from them at a convention recently. I didn't know who she bought them from. She brought them home as a gift. It was a convention I wasn't at, and I wore this shirt. Not the one I'm wearing right now, but in the last couple videos I did, the Funko videos, I'm wearing it. It's like a pumpkin with a black cat. Well, I met the guy this weekend at Horror Hound, and he hooked me up with this shirt here.
Nice.
Yeah. I love the old school Halloween stuff. And I just wanted to give them a shout out, HalloweenShirtCompany.com. They got some cool designs. Go check them out. Good stuff.
There you go.
Now, we really haven't had a chance to get into movies and get off my lawns and this and that, what's going on, and our guests are here.
That's okay.
So we're going to have to go back to that.
We can go back to it, or we can. I haven't watched very much, to be honest with you.
It's been 2 months. Chris, you've seen stuff. 2 months.
I've been rewatching stuff. Rewatching stuff. And I've been dealing with death, and I've been dealing with work.
We haven't talked about Alien. We haven't talked. There's a lot of stuff.
We didn't? I thought we talked about Alien.
I don't think we did. What, 2 months ago?
I thought we talked about Alien.
No, we did when I jumped on that podcast you were on.
Oh, you're right.
We haven't talked about it here.
Well, we'll try to go back to that if I'm not too tired by then.
All right, I'm gonna invite them in.
All right,
the boys from Mondo.
And this is give me their
Peter
names
and
again.
Hector.
Peter and Hector.
Yes.
Okay.
They should have their names on the screen. I hope. Here we go.
Let me put my glasses on.
I see Godzilla.
Hector. I see Hector and Godzilla.
I see Pig Beast. Here's the guys.
Hello.
Hi, fellas.
How's it going? Nice to see you guys.
Good to see you.
All that stuff.
What's up, dudes?
Look at all that amazing merch.
Yeah, right. It's like covered in, surrounded by merch behind me.
That's the Mondo warehouse right there behind him.
Oh, nice.
Wow, it's like a kaiju, like orgasm.
Basically, yeah.
Cornucopia of
colorful kaiju explosion.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Awesome, man. Hey, guys, thank you so much again for having us. And apologies, Sean, for the headache again. Like, I know the back and forth with the shipping, what a pain in the ass.
That's all right. I bitched you guys out on the show before you came on.
Perfect.
I was like, this wouldn't happen if it was Funko. No, I was
They have their shit together.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
It is amateur hour.
I saw, coincidentally, I saw you pop up on that Funko Instagram. Was that coordinated?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
They asked me, they asked me to do that. So I was like,
Cool.
They didn't ask me.
Yeah.
You're going to be our new influencer, Chris. We're
That's
gonna
cool.
get you
Even though I have lots of characters that Funko has created, that I created, they still refuse to.
You should design something with us, dude. Well, I was just thinking, like, I'm sure you're too busy, but I was just thinking, like, coming up with all the horror stuff we're getting into, maybe you could work on something.
Hell yeah, man.
Would you like to? Because
I'd totally be down.
We're actually working on a. You can cut everything up to what I just said, right? But yeah. Well, anyway, we're working on stuff that I think you would be have expertise on. So we'd love to have you work on.
Oh,
something.
thanks, man. I would love to. That would be
Cool.
awesome. Thank you. It'd be a
Sweet,
treat.
So you heard it here on the Thing with Two Heads exclusive.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yep. And send. Okay.
You asked for it. You wanted to come on the show. You asked for it.
Reveals.
So anyway, guys, thanks for coming on the show. And if you could both introduce yourselves and tell everybody what your roles are there at Mondo, so the people know exactly what it is you do.
Hector, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, I'm Hector Arce. I'm the Senior Director of Creative and Product Development here at Mondo.
And I'm Peter Santa Maria. I go by Attack Peter as my artist name, if you see my artwork out there. And I'm a Senior Creative Director at Mondo. And we both work primarily overseeing like all the creative decisions at the company, like all the how the company's gonna be presented visually, what kind of projects we want to work on, and we work with other art directors in the company, help shepherd some projects over. But most of the time, Hector and I are just like going over this awesome license list that we get to work on and say, dude, we should make this, we should make that. And then with an awesome team of sculptors and painters, I really think we have the best one in the business. And we just get to see rad stuff come to life. You know, that's the dream.
That's got to be so amazing to have
It's
all
the
those
coolest.
licenses and just have a toy box to play in. It's got to be great.
Before Funko acquired us, in collectibles, just, the actual toy space, we only had like 3 licenses to play with. It was, or 4 actually. It was, Masters of the Universe. We had Godzilla, Batman the Animated Series, and then X-Men the Animated Series. So we weren't really, we were developing great product for that stuff, but it wasn't until recently that we got to really spread our wings we have so many great licenses now, in addition to those, that we're just super excited about. I mean, McCready is a result of that too.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
Like McCready
so
and
good.
Nada, and other Universal properties that we're currently working on. And
Yeah,
some other fun
Megan
stuff.
is
Megan.
Megan the 1/6 Megan, and
Mhm.
my favorite that we're currently working on that we showed off at Monster Palooza is our brand new creature from the Black Lagoon. And
Yeah.
Ooh,
I'm so hyped on that. That's my #1 monster. And
mine too.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Mondo made a really cool one back in the day, but we both looked at it. We're like, I think enough time has gone by that with the right team, we can revisit this and like do some things that we weren't able to, that Mondo wasn't able to do before. We're working on a seamless body with like a rubberized, joint. So it kind of like has that tactile feel,
Mm.
including the Revenge of the Creature mask, cutting the heads like they're actual masks,
Oh, very
know,
cool.
right? So little things like that. And I think people are going to be really stoked when they see the rest of the figure.
Oh, that's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, you guys are killing it, man. Your booth at Monster Palooza was amazing. I was just like, oh my god, I gotta have that. I gotta have that. I gotta have that. I was just freaking out. It was so
Yeah.
good.
The hardest part about the job in a good way is that you're always like 12 months out based on like what you're working on to what people are going to see.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, I can't wait to tell you guys or show you guys this, that, and the other. And then, when we're reviewing sculpts or figures behind the scenes, I'm always saying in a meeting, I'm like, God damn it, I can't wait for that. I can't believe we have to wait 6-8 months to get that thing. It's so funny. Like our scope is so collector focused.
Yeah. So you have a lot coming up. You have a lot coming up, yeah.
Yeah, we've ramped up our production big time this year, and like we're really getting into a lot of different spaces. Horror being a big one that Mondo's always played in horror, obviously, but
Especially with posters and all
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
Records, our record division and our poster division, have been doing posters and records in the horror space for a decade now,
Yeah.
right? If not, even longer with posters. So, for us to be able to play in that space in collectibles is really exciting because I'm a huge horror fan. Peter's a huge horror fan.
Yeah.
It's like a whole nother playground of amazing characters that we get to, try to realize in 3D.
Yeah, and that's the challenge is letting, because we're technically, as a collectibles, a figure company, we're still on the younger side of things compared to some companies that have been around forever. And we've made some big splashes and we're super proud of that. But is really reaching out. Monster Palooza was something we wanted to attend to say, hey, this is what we do. We want you guys to know that we're busting our butts to make cool stuff in this space, and we want to hear what you think, and and let you guys know that we're horror nerds too. So just really trying to meet that community more closely and really figure out what people want so we can make it.
Yeah, it was really a kind of an eye opener at Monster Palooza. I mean, I've always been a Mondo fan, and I own so much Mondo stuff, records, posters, things like that. But when I was at Palooza, it really felt like your prom. It really felt like suddenly a presence was there. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like suddenly there was a horror presence from Mondo with all these figures and things like that I saw that I was unaware of, to be honest with you. I had no idea that you had so much cool licenses and cool stuff. I was blown away.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's really been the result of a lot of deciding internally, like, where do we want to focus our energy? Because the flip side of having a lot of access with licenses is like, well, which ones do you pick and which ones do you have to put away for later, and And so, horror is just like Hector said, we're just huge fans. And if we're working on stuff, you need to be a fan of it. Like you guys know, if you're not a fan of something
Sure.
and you're committed to working on it for months and months on end, that can be a real slog. Or conversely, if you're having fun, if you're a fan of it, it's like you're not even working,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we noticed that there was like room to develop horror, and so yeah, McCready was a big one for us. We wanted to get out there. People really stoked on that figure. And like we said, with the 1/6 scale figures we talked about, or soft vinyl, which is more stylized,
Mhm.
which is, another one of our loves, as you can see behind us. Like we love Sofubi and traditional Japanese figures and things like
Yeah.
that. So figuring out how to marry those two to make
Yeah.
something new, because there's a lot of great stuff in this space. You guys talk about all the time. There are many great companies making great horror stuff. How do you create something new? So like,
Mhm.
which is like to respect the fans, like, and their time and their money. Like we're not going to just put out the same thing that everybody else is putting out,
Right.
is the goal.
Yeah, the McCready thing was just super badass. I mean, that was that, but of course I'm biased because I'm such a Thing fan, but also to the soft vinyl, I'm a huge fan of. When I was a kid, I had soft vinyl figures of, there's this Japanese character called Kikaider.
Yes,
Oh,
I don't
cool.
Kikaider.
know.
I love Kikaider.
I love Kikaider, and I own
Yes.
all the DVDs and stuff like that.
Really? That's so cool.
Yeah, I just love, I had all the Kikaider figures and the villains and stuff like that.
That's
And I don't
amazing.
see any Kikaider anywhere. I never
No,
see
no.
it. And I don't know why. I think it's so cool, but your vinyl figures remind me of having those when I was a kid, and it's super cool.
Yeah, it's clearly like what we love, especially me. It's like my favorite thing to collect. I don't really, you know, when I go to Designer Con or even Monster Palooza has become more of a, soft vinyl toy show, right? There's a lot of
Yeah,
soft vinyl toy vendors there that
yeah,
and designers, James Groman, one of them who's incredible. And so Dingy Dave, there's a lot of great artists there that show up to those type of shows. And so it's my favorite thing to collect just
right.
because of, I don't know, there's a nostalgia factor to it, and there's
Yeah.
the tactile feeling to a soft vinyl where you can kind of hold it, you can play with it, you're not afraid of breaking it, I mean, and they display really nice. They just
Yeah.
they're so colorful.
Yeah. It's also that like the aesthetic of soft vinyl figures is traditionally like, well, it's rooted in like figures that came out in the 60s and 70s in
Yeah.
Japan that were made for kids to be able to play with and not break, right? That was the original point of them. Now it's like adult collectors are the ones who want them, but there is something about like finding the aesthetic in the restricted nature of that design history too, like trying to communicate something really cool without going full realistic or whatever. You can do it, that you can definitely do it, but there's an aesthetic choice to certain soft vinyl that harkens back to that, which Hector and I are big fans of. And if you're not familiar with it, like if you don't know some of those older titles and the toys that came out with them, it might be like, well, what is this design sensibility? And it comes from that. So,
Yeah.
a lot of what will come from us is going to be a result of the things we love. It's like a band, really. When you have different influences and those influences start to come through musically and they make something new. That's how I feel our team is working right now, and the projects that come out of that are reflective of it.
That's awesome.
It would
Yeah,
be
man.
the McCready that you sent us. Yeah, that thing's beautiful, and I just put up a video. I did a whole unboxing of the
Oh,
McCready
awesome.
figure that at this very second isn't up, but by the time this airs, will have been up for at least a week. So I go into deep dive on it, and I point out everything wrong with it. No, I'm kidding.
It's okay. I mean, that's
No,
what
We're taking
everyone
notes.
does with it, with any 1/6 scale.
No, I
toy.
didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't find anything wrong with it. I was just like blown away at how detailed everything was. It was
Yeah.
such an amazing
So
figure.
amazing figure.
And now you got some new stuff coming out. I know you attempted to send me something, but I see something sitting on Chris's shelf over here.
Right here.
Yeah.
Tell us
Yeah,
about this. What is this all about?
So yeah, yours will be coming, just for the record, and because I just think it's something you got to experience in person. Hector and I were talking about a year ago, or maybe a little bit more now. What could we do that's themed, not like themed for the season of Halloween, not just the film franchise, right? But the season. And we're like thinking about the fun and the experiential nature of like the props and the blow molds, and it's not precious stuff. It's like stuff that you're like rough and tumble with when you're a kid. And so we were thinking about, what if we had something that is like a Halloween, candy pail, but it's also something that you display year long, and it has like a premium look to it.
Plus the
But then it's also contains stuff in it. Yeah, yeah. And so we had this idea where the nightmare vessels, which we ended up calling them, they're blow mold containers. In this particular case, based on Halloween 2, the jack-o'-lantern you see on the poster, right, with the skull. And then you once you open the box, which is like definitely an homage to the Boglins, if you remember those.
I was about to say it reminds me of a Boglin box.
100%. It was an homage to the Boglins, and on the back we have an original comic that we have commissioned artist Brett Parson, who goes by Blitz Cadet. If you haven't seen his stuff, he's great. He's got like a Wally Wood, Jack Davis style, and it kind of tells you like it's our own homage to horror comics of the old days. And he's the Nightmare Keeper, explaining the process of what you do with the head. You open it, you reach inside, you pull stuff out, and you display them side by side. Shout out to Jordan Christensen, who wrote the script and designed the packaging too.
Very cool. Cool.
Right. So the whole thing is like, it's a whole thing is an experience. So you're pulling the vessel out, and Chris, you'll notice that the vessel is a blow mold material as well.
It is, yeah.
Right. And it's painted to have that kind of a retro feel to it. Which I freaking love. I think that if there's ever been a pumpkin or a jack-o'-lantern that deserves to have that treatment, it's that one. And so then, you open it like a regular pumpkin with the carved top, and then inside there's going to be, it's nice and secure for shipping. There you go.
That's good.
Yeah. So exactly. Yeah. It's a fun blow mold material. So inside there'll be pumpkin guts.
Pumpkin guts.
Well, right now, for whatever crazy reason, the hot thing has become popcorn buckets. I
know, dude. We didn't even know that.
Which
is basically what that is. This could be doubled as a popcorn bucket.
100%.
Totally.
I could double for anything. Candy, popcorn, whatever.
I'd start marketing it that way, as a popcorn bucket.
Yeah, right. And that's the cool thing about it, is it's essentially like a container now. So inside you got these black bags, and when you open them, you'll see we got Michael Myers in there. And
don't tell people what's in it.
Yeah, he's opening it.
Pull it out.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. What's in there?
Yeah. What's in there? I don't know.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
But I don't know. I mean, I know you guys are probably similar to me. Like I have my jack-o'-lantern, my Halloween jack-o'-lanterns in my studio all year long, and I have
totally.
from my childhood that I keep. So to me, it's not something I put away after Halloween. It's something that just fits into the regular collection.
All right. First thing I opened was this guy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Blood Tears Michael.
Man.
Tears Michael. Obviously, I can see where this is going. Let me do this. Let me open the big one.
Yeah, and just the act of opening it is fun. Hector and I always talk about
it's fun
when you get like really like high-end figure like that.
I'm having fun.
That unboxing is cool. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, okay.
So you can see the stylization on Michael Myers there is a nod to those classic Japanese figures. So like if you've ever collected Ultraman figures back in the day, or Kamen Rider figures, there's that anatomy design. You got one. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And so our goal, is to be, as soft vinyl collectors, is to get some of these horror icons and be able to put them among our Sofubi. So we want to make sure it fits stylistically too. So it's really cool.
Super cool.
So you can obviously switch the head.
Yeah, the head comes off, and you can swap it off.
Watch me break it. Take the head off. I want blood tears. I feel like blood tears today. So boom.
You have to twist it in there. There you go.
That good vinyl sound.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. I love that.
I love the smell of the vinyl too.
Oh, it's
that
the
I'm
best.
I'm getting the smell, which is
as a part of it too. It's so funny.
Totally
that new toy smell, especially with soft vinyl, because of the nature of the vinyl.
Absolutely.
You get this wonderful aroma that I have a nostalgia for.
Me too.
I
do
too. Some other people who've never collected soft vinyl, they're put off by it. They're like, well, why does it smell like this? And it's like, oh, well, that's just the smell of soft vinyl toys.
Yeah, just get the wine glass. And
what that smell reminds me of, which a lot of kids today will never really understand. Oh, he's got the Ben Tramer head too.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Is it reminds me of when I used to have a waterbed.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And if you ever
Oh,
had a
yeah.
waterbed, the material that the waterbed is made out of smells like that.
Yeah.
It's
That
vinyl. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. The
Ben
bed itself
Tramer.
has to be vinyl to hold all that water in.
That's pretty
Any
cool.
of you ever have a waterbed?
No,
Right
a
here.
good friend of mine did, but
I had
I
a
always thought
waterbed.
I wished for one when I was a kid.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
really
my-
wanted one. My parents never got it for me. They're like, no.
My parents had one in this
Okay.
is the 70s. And
Uh-huh.
then when they finally were over it, they let me take it. So
Uh-huh.
from probably age, I don't know, maybe 12 to 17, I had a waterbed.
That's
Nice.
rad. That's rad.
I'm gonna put the regular head back on because we have. Oh, look at that! Oh, I love him so much. He smells so good. Because we got the little accessory with the knife.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Look at that.
Yep.
It's so cool. I
Now
just
you
love
had
this thing.
mentioned, did you say that the one Chris got here is a variant?
Yes. So there's going to be two versions. There's going to be the one that Chris has there is our Mondo exclusive, which is going to be pretty limited in nature. Only, I think, I don't know if we've
Exclusive.
announced that yet, but
Exclusive,
what the
everybody.
numbers are, but it will be pretty limited and it glows in the dark.
Yeah.
The whole
What?
thing. Yeah.
Even
The
What?
whole
the-
thing
even
glows
the
in the
pumpkin
dark. So
does.
the pumpkin.
Shut your hole! It doesn't.
Yeah.
Myers' face, his hands, his knife. I think the knives. I can't
Amazing.
remember.
We
Yeah.
also got. This is the hypodermic needle.
Yep,
Yes.
the little syringe.
The little syringe.
That's quite the hypodermic needle.
It is.
It's so funny when you're
I'm like,
designing.
what is he? A plumber? What the?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's like boring a hole right
What is
into
that,
the head.
pipe? What is it? When you're designing for soft vinyl, you have to take into account like these are going to be in
Sure.
that material, right? So the stylization of weapons, like everything kind of gets ballooned,
Yeah,
right?
chunky.
So
I love that you have to kind of break them in, like you have to like
yeah.
snap them,
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
That's
it
the best.
releases more aroma, and then
Oh, yeah.
it also makes this noise.
It's
So
the best.
what is the difference on the packaging to know if you got the exclusive
That Mondo sticker on the bottom right corner. You see it?
Yeah.
And yeah, a little silver sticker. So yeah, you'll only be able to get the glow in the dark from our site. And then it's possible that the other one will be available at other places that we'll mention later.
Yeah, the regular edition will be available on our site as well, but probably also available through other retailers.
Yeah.
But the glow in the dark is our Mondo exclusive for
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
mondoshop.com.
Is that limited to a specific number? And if so,
yeah,
say
yeah,
what
it's
it is?
low. It's low. This I think it's 500 units.
Okay. Get
But
them
you
while
can
you
make
can.
'em-
And,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the way you get that is it mondo.com?
Mondoshop.com. Yeah,
Mondo
Shop
shop.
it like that.
Yeah, look at that. Finally. Remember that
Dude,
scene where
no, the
he hops
David
up
Lee
on the
Roth
kitchen
version.
cabinets?
Remember when he did
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Ow!
I was thinking of the Van Damme split. I forgot what movie that was where he's like hard to kill.
Yeah. It's the Van Damme split. There you
Yeah.
go.
There it is.
Basically every Van Damme movie. I mean, come on.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
That's his trademark.
yeah.
That's it.
Myers as
love
well
it.
now.
Yeah,
I
I wonder
gotta
if he could
say-
still do that. I wonder if he can still do that.
I bet you he can.
Can't?
The splits, yeah.
Can.
Yeah, I bet he
Can.
can. I bet he
Really?
I bet you he can.
You
I
don't think
love
so?
the Ben Tramer. I think it's my favorite because it kind
It's
of looks
rad,
like
right?
me. If
Yeah.
I had a
Oh,
thick
yeah.
full of hair, that's what I would look.
Someone we were looking over the Ben Tramer mask for an undisclosed project, and I noticed for the first time that he doesn't wear the jumpsuit. Obviously, why would he?
No.
And so that every time I've seen anything Ben Tramer, it's the same thing. It's like a swappable head on a Myers body, which
Right.
is just for fun.
Yeah, it's just a nice nod to that.
Yeah.
scene.
I
Right.
love this. I
Yeah,
love
he's
this.
kind of wearing like a button-up shirt, like
It
long
is.
sleeve, right? Yeah.
Torso up, you would be hard pressed to notice, especially in the moment
Yeah.
that he has there.
Oh, he
but-
spins too.
I was telling Hector the other
Just-
day, and I'm
just
sure a lot of
spins
people
too.
watching this
Mm.
already know it, so forgive the noobness of it. But we were talking about how it's the same mask from the first movie,
Mm.
just on a different actor, and it stretches the shape of the face for part 2.
Yeah,
Right.
and it got a lot dirtier and worn
Yeah.
out looking, and yeah, there's a funny well, I don't know if it's funny, but Nick Castle said that he kept the mask, and then Deborah Hill asked to borrow it, and never gave it back. And
Oh,
so-
really?
yeah,
That
so
sucks.
it ended up being used for part 2, and they didn't give it back to him. But
Ah, bummer.
I'm actually going to keep the pumpkin guts because I love the pumpkin guts. I love
Yeah,
that
right.
it came with pumpkin guts.
Yeah, we were trying, when we were originally conceiving these, part of the whole appeal for us was to include some type of material inside that gave another experience when it came to unboxing these or opening these up. And then so the pumpkin guts idea and the crinkle paper just kind of made sense, right?
Yeah.
So as we do more of these, not all of them are going to have that same type of filling. Some of them might have different type of fillings that are related to their IP. Like it could be bugs, it could be slime, it could be all sorts of stuff.
Well, that's cool.
So can you talk about some of the other ones? Because I know you did have a couple on display at Monsterpalooza, so you should be able to talk about those, right?
Yeah. We had one on display. The other one on display at Monsterpalooza, and that will hopefully be releasing this year, is the American Werewolf in London.
Oh, that's so good.
So the vessel is the Kessler Wolf's head.
That's the one I got. That's the one I gotta have.
Man. It's my favorite of the two. I love them both. I think what makes it fun for me and makes me love the American Werewolf one so much is because it shows kind of the scope of where we could go with this. I mean, obviously, a blow molded pumpkin is, there's a lot of that everywhere.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It makes sense, and it's like, oh, okay, but you have a blow molded, stylized Kessler Wolf head, right? Now that shows like, oh, this is what they're doing with this.
Yeah,
right? It's not just pumpkins. It's it's a character specific. The idea, like it is in the comic on the back of the box, is that these are just like their severed heads or some sort of totem that belongs to the IP or to the movie or whatever it's from.
Yeah, I picture like displaying them the same way mask collectors do, like Chris on your back shelf there, having like a row of these guys. And the cool thing is the figure's small so that like it just sits next to it. So you can have like this cool combination.
Oh, totally.
Which was the intention.
I'm going to do it right now.
Live. The first person to ever do it. And so, yeah, with the Kessler Wolf, the cool thing is, when you're designing for your for blow mold, the blow mold detailing, you want to make sure it's not over the top, that you can capture it all, and that kind of creates this vintage stylization by nature. So if people saw those, we'll send you a picture too. If people saw those, you can already see how that works, and it's just exciting to see those different characters seen through that lens of that vintage manufacturing. And blow mold.
Yeah, it's very cool. The American Werewolf in London ones are amazing. Those are, I mean, this is amazing. This is super cool.
Yeah.
I ain't taking anything away from that. I'm happy.
No,
it's going to live there. Yeah. But the American Werewolf in London is like, oh my God, they're so good. Man. If you haven't seen it out there.
When he got that in the mail, he goes, I said, yeah, they're sending me one too. And he goes, did they send you the American Werewolf in London one?
No, we'll send you the other ones when they're ready. We're still working on that one overseas, so it's rounding the corner, but it'll be soon. And it's an awesome one. It's like people saw at Monsterpalooza. You get some of the nightmare demons in there, the soldiers in there, and swappable heads for those.
Yeah, and you get two of them. So it comes with two nightmare demons with 4 interchangeable heads and a bunch of little weapons and stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you have to get 2 of them in order to have all the demons.
If you want to army build it, if you want to army build all of them, yeah, you would need to.
Yeah.
But as we love to do at Mondo, we always have like an exclusive version of one of them. So like how we're doing here, where it's like you have the glow in the dark version, and then you have like the regular edition. So we'll probably do something fun there, where at least if people get 2, there's a reason to buy another one, because it comes with something special or whatever.
But then you have them on the shelf, and 2 are glowing and 2 aren't, and you're like, what the
hell?
hell?
You need another one that glows.
What level of OCD collector are you? That's how you find out.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's how it goes down.
Well, usually I get 2 of everything, one to keep in the box and one to.
Do you really?
I do.
Do you keep your boxes in your home, or do you have like a warehouse?
Both. I have some in my shop back here, which I have a whole nother room over there. But and then I have so much stuff in storage just because, and occasionally I'll rotate stuff out and look at stuff and put boxes up and just stare at it. And admire it.
Oh man, yeah, same thing, right? Like you get these things, and I was talking to James. We mentioned James Groman. I don't know if you guys are familiar with his work, but you would probably know his work when he was originally a toy designer. He worked on Mad Balls and My Pet Monster, and all those. He used to work for American Greetings back in the day, and now he's had like a second leg of his career, essentially, where he's designing like more detailed, designer figures that are highly sought after by collectors. And he did a Man
cool.
Thing for
Yeah,
us.
yeah,
at Werewolf by Night
I saw
Figures, if you
those. Those are neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's James. And but I talked to him sometimes because he's been a toy designer his whole life. It's like it's not just about thing accumulation. There's something about it, especially as an artist, where if you have the right collection of them on a space, it's like these charged little totems and of inspiration. And you're like, oh, I want to draw now, or oh, I want to sculpt now. Seeing that little, thing there on the desk.
Yeah, for sure. There are a lot of times I look at my toys or something and get motivated to sculpt, a mask or something like that. It's like that's what's so great about them. That's what's great about having a collection is it's a creative thing to have a collection, I think. It's a creative process, I think. And it's a creative,
Sean, you don't know anything about that.
What's collecting? What is that about? I don't know anything about collecting.
I consider it a creative act. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Absolutely. I mean, every day, if you have them, it's inspiration, right?
Yeah.
So
and
can
curation,
you guys,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, can you guys talk about things that you want to do, or is that kind of because that's like you can't? Well, he's saying no, you're saying yes.
No, I'm fine. We can mention some. I mean, I shook my head because I'm like, there's so many.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Brainstorming. I mean,
because I'm sitting there thinking of ideas as I'm looking at these. Like, what else would be cool to put in a package? Like, I'm immediately thinking the stretch face from the Thing, or a spider head that have legs that you could attach that are inside.
You plug in or something. Yep.
Yeah,
that's an amazing one. And just to have like a little Jack McCready pissed off, and maybe he comes. Maybe we get Keith David involved finally. You know what I'm saying? Like as a 2-pack. The Thing would be an awesome one. I'm desperate to do the Fly.
Oh
yeah.
Cool. And then trying to think
about. Would you do the pod?
Would
you do the pod? Or?
That's my first inclination, but I wonder if like it would break again. Talking about OCD, if I get a bunch of heads, do I want a pod?
Yeah, does it break the fun? It would have to probably be the actual fly's head,
the Brundle Fly, and that's not a bad thing. Having a giant Brundle Fly head would.
But then you could also do a premium figure that came with the pod of the fly creature.
Dude, 1/6 scale fly is a dream.
This is what you got to do. Here it is. I'm putting it out there.
Go ahead.
You need two versions. You got to do the early stage Brundle Fly with one pod and full creature with the other pod. Well, you get both pods. So two different purchases, but you got to put it all together.
I think if that ever were to come to be, you have to do both versions. I think you have to do fully, mutated Fly, and then you need that in between stage because the in between stage is so iconic.
The one with him in the sweat and the sweatsuit with the canes, and he's
Yes. Dude, you need to have an accessory of the little larva baby,
the little donut, that he eats.
Yeah.
Oh yes, the donut.
His jars of teeth and stuff.
I do have his teeth in the other room.
Do you really?
I have a set, one of the stages of Goldblum's teeth.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a movie I'd love to get a chance to work on. We did Nada recently. We put Nada up, and I'd love to be able to do some of the aliens for that, and do a They Live vessel where you just get like an alien head. Which is rad.
Yeah, that'd be rad.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
And eventually, what would be really freaking cool is to be able to just do like original designs, right? Like these, and then we talked to some of our friends who are artists, and like it would be cool, like if so and so designed their take on a zombie head and what that would look like and what would it be inside, so you could if people really get into it as a platform, There's
Yeah.
tons of stuff we could do.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
much stuff.
Yeah.
Chet Zar comes to mind.
Oh,
Are
I
you
love
familiar with Chet Zar?
Of course, we
Yeah.
don't know him personally. We've wanted to reach out to him and work with him on stuff. So if you know him and you want to,
I do know him. I do know him, but he like I just picture having one of those things like in a Chet Zar sculpt would be amazing. With a few of his, he has so many characters. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But you know,
One of my
all these
favorite
different
characters
things.
he's ever designed was that bishop or that character for Hellboy 2 that was like,
Oh yeah.
so rad. He's got a great
Yeah,
design.
he's
and
great
of course all the
design
stuff for
ethic.
Tool
Yeah,
is
totally.
legendary.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You can do
Yeah.
a tool bucket. A tool bucket.
Yeah.
One thing I'd love to see.
What's missing?
I've seen good dolls, but
Okay.
I've never seen a dead-on one, kind of a la that McCready you sent us of Alex from Clockwork Orange.
Oh, yeah,
that's a
that's
good
true.
one. Let me write that
Yeah,
down.
we've believe it or not, we've talked about it for a long time, and we just haven't had. It always became like a licensing thing, but
Yeah.
as we
That's a good
develop
one.
these kind of like cult classic horror, sci-fi, thriller from the 70s, 80s, 1/6 scale figures, as we as we started with Nada and McCready, and we're hopefully going to be able to explore stuff like that.
People don't do a lot of Phantom of the Paradise stuff, or do they?
That's an awesome one too.
God, yes.
Yes.
One of the best designs.
So good.
Yeah.
Paul
It's
Williams.
endless. It's
Paul
endless.
Williams
what
is
you
going to
can
be
do.
at Son of Monster Palooza.
That's right. That's awesome.
Oh, that's sweet.
I kind of want to go and get his autograph. I really want to.
I definitely am. I mean,
yeah.
Do you guys ever catch shit for that? I bumped into someone, John Favreau came by our booth and at Monster Palooza, and I'm a big Star Wars nerd, and obviously and so I was like, I didn't want to ask him to take a picture, and then one of my coworkers goes, "If you do that, I got to step away from you."
Why?
I don't know. Like, there's like, I'm a openly nerdy. Like, I don't have no problem with that. Like, I was at when I met you, Sean, at Frightmare, I was like, dude, James Jude Courtney, what? And like just meeting all the gang. Nick Castle was there. Like, I love to geek out over stuff like that. I love it. And
That's
I know
the
that
point. Isn't that the
I
point?
love it. Okay. Yeah, man. I can't get enough of that. And so to me, like,
you have validation now, Peter.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I meet a lot of celebrities in what I do for a living, and have met a lot of people in my life, in my career, and I never do it at work. I just don't do it at work. It's just I consider it kind of unprofessional, and but if I see them at a con or something, I have no problem geeking out and going, fuck yeah, I got to do it, because they don't know me, and I don't know, so fuck it,
Plus, wouldn't they be stoked, like, to know?
That's the point. That's why they're there.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
It's for you to geek out over them.
Well, I know it's sort of like an unspoken thing you're not supposed to do on set, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, isn't that even a more kind of chill place to do it when you're alone with them in the makeup chair, and you're like, hey, by the way, blah blah blah, or would you mind signing this for me at the at the end of the shoot, like last day kind of thing.
Last day.
I don't have a problem telling somebody I'm a huge fan of them if I'm on set. I don't do the whole signing thing. Or will you sign this, or will you do that? I mean,
what was the story? You told us, was it a Kurt Russell? Was it Kurt Russell?
Yeah. God. That did not go well. He signed it though. He ended up signing it. My thing DVD, or not DVD, Laserdisc.
Yeah.
My Criterion Laserdisc of the thing, he signed it, which I have it signed by a lot of those guys, but were
you working with him on something?
I was doing his makeup I was doing a test makeup for when he was in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Okay.
And oh, Jesus, that's a long story. I'm not going to tell again.
Okay.
But yeah, I was warned that he doesn't like that he doesn't like people geeking out over him or asking him to sign shit and stuff like that. But I brought it anyway, because I was like, I have to, because when's the next time I'm going to get Kurt Russell?
Man.
So that's the thing too. It's like when people, I remember, like, this is years before I knew Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, I was outside of a theater or something, and she was walking out, and I was like one of those nerds standing out there with the items. This is like early 90s. And I'm like, Miss Curtis, and she's like, get you next time, guys. And I'm like, get you next time. What the fuck are you talking about?
What
Get you
next time?
Yeah. What are you
Are we
talking
hanging
about?
out later?
Yeah, and she just breezed past us, and I'm just like, get you next time. This is the first. This is the, how am I ever gonna meet you again? You know, well, obviously I ended up knowing her, but that's another story. But it just kind of like, you know, sometimes, you know, there's a story Doug Tate told me actually when he was working on a commercial with Kobe Bryant. You know, Doug was playing a Laker, you know, in some commercial. And he said he worked with him like all weekend. And at the end of the shoot, he's all, hey, Kobe, you know, you might get a picture with you. And he's like, come on, dog. Come on, dog. Like that. And he's like, and he wouldn't take a picture with him.
Wow.
I was like,
see, that to me is the risk. The risk is not like that I'm gonna be embarrassed. I don't give a shit about that part. The risk is that later I'm gonna be in my head like, was he having a bad day? Is he a dick? Is my favorite player a dick? You know what I mean? Like
Oh, I don't think that much about it.
No, okay, that's
My
my
thing-
neurosis.
my thinking is in that moment, it might be
Yeah.
uncomfortable and that's lame. But this dude, 15 minutes after he walks away from you, he's never going to think of it again.
Oh,
No.
no.
A guy
no,
like
no,
that?
No.
No,
You know.
he forgot it the minute he walked away.
Oh, yeah.
So if he bumped into you on the street even a week later, he probably wouldn't even remember you
Right.
were in that commercial. So
Right.
No,
yeah,
yeah.
totally.
there's people meet so many people on a daily basis,
Yeah.
but it's part of the job, you know. If,
Yeah,
if you're
totally.
going to be out there for
A
everybody,
public
to see-
figure. If you're
Yeah,
a
You got to
can't
be
be-
on the whole
you
time.
can't be Taylor Swift and expect people to just leave you alone all the time.
right.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, sorry.
Are there for each of you guys, who is it that you would like to meet that's alive that you would lose your shit if you could meet them and get an autograph or a photo?
I've got
Damn. Hector's so not this guy, by the way.
You don't seem like that guy.
No, Hector is like just so chill about it. Like he'll be like, "Oh, that's cool," and I could probably list 20 of them. But a lot of it, my stuff is like, I've met a lot of people I really wanted to meet because I was like Frank Miller and Mike Mignola, the comic artists, were big for
Right.
me coming up. Like as a comic,
Mhm.
and then Jim Lee, I wanted to meet Jim Lee, and
Mhm.
I did, right. McFarlane, so comic guys were big for me. And then when I was a kid, I used to go to every concert and sneak backstage somehow. And I
Right.
used to make my own backstage passes and like laminate them. Like I would study the
Wow.
roadies, and then eventually I would just like, and I met everybody, dude. Like I met so many of these big bands. But you know, I've always wanted to meet, like, you know, the guys from Aerosmith. It's one of my favorite bands growing up, something like that. And then, you know, I got to meet Guillermo del Toro, so like that's a big one
That
for
would be
me.
that's I was gonna say if I had Guillermo del Toro's up there for me for
Mm.
wanting to just meet him because just an incredible body of work and everything he's done. It's just
Right.
so
Dude,
inspirational.
and he's the coolest dude. I got to go to Spain to watch them film us for a day on Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, very cool.
And I was nobody from nowhere. I was just on the Hellboy message boards
Right.
in like 2000 before the
Such a
first
great
movie came
story,
out.
yeah.
And so we would just talk like, I wonder how the movie's gonna be, guys. And then like he would post on the boards too.
Mm.
And so eventually we started chatting, and this is like 20 plus years ago. And so he sent me passes to the movie screening here in Miami for like Latin press. And then he invited me to go tell him what I thought about it over dinner with Ron Perlman. It was just like me, them two, and my ex-girlfriend. I was like 19. It was like craziest
Wow.
thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's the coolest dude. So like I've gotten to the point where I'm just stoked to meet people now in this side of things, because I'm very proud of the work I do, and I'm proud to say, hey, I love you and what you do, and let me show you what I do, because it's just so cool that we're all here doing this stuff. That's
Yeah.
where it's at now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What about you guys? I feel like you've met everybody, but who would you be starstruck by still?
Sean?
Well, one of my white whales I've always mentioned is Chris Makepeace,
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
who's he was the little kid. He was the kid in Meatballs and My Bodyguard.
Okay, yeah.
But I mean, big ones. I've never met Harrison Ford. I've never met George
Okay.
Lucas. I've
Those
never
would
met
be
Kurt
big.
Russell. I mean,
Yeah,
I was gonna
Kurt's
say
a big
Kurt
one
Russell's
for me.
up there for me. Yeah, absolutely.
But now I'm
It would be rad
scared.
to meet Mark Hamill.
Yeah, I'm scared too now that
I've met Mark. I've
Mark
met
Hamill
Mark.
would be amazing.
I've met Mark. Yeah,
I'd probably geek out pretty hard for that too. Yeah.
I think I've
And you,
met
Chris?
everybody you guys listed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've met a lot of people
doing the conventions. I mean, a lot of comic guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what about you, Chris? Anybody? Is there gotta be somebody?
Mine are like musicians.
Yeah.
Mine always
That
are
counts?
musicians. Like Pete Townsend, I would love to meet Pete Townsend.
Oh yeah,
That would be the shit. Like if I could meet Pete Townsend. I always wanted to meet Eddie Van Halen, but he's dead. I don't know. Tom Waits would be cool.
Oh, I love Tom.
Did he just die?
No, how dare you?
No,
is he not? Is he not dead? You sure? Check that.
I'm positive Tom Waits is not dead.
We would all, that would be all over Instagram.
No, JJ Souther just died.
I know.
But mine are always like musicians.
Yeah.
Movie people. I guess movie people. Anytime I've met a lot of the guys from The Thing, and I always geek out over that. I'm always like, oh my God, it's Windows, or something like that. I'm like, that. I always geek out over that.
I had a great time one time. Well, this was a super embarrassing for me at the time, but it was Breaking Bad had just come out, and it would probably been out for several seasons at that point. Bryan Cranston was probably one of my favorite at the time. I was just obsessed, right? I was like, oh my God, best. And so I had the pleasure of being able to work on the 2014 Godzilla movie, helping design the Godzilla for the film.
Wow.
So at Comic-Con, they had a meet and greet after their panel. It was Bryan Cranston. It was Elizabeth Olsen.
Millie Bobby Brown.
No,
that was
before
that
one. Movie. It was the very first one.
Oh,
yeah.
That's the other one.
So Elizabeth Olsen, Bryan Cranston, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and then the director Gareth Edwards was there. And I knew Gareth because we had worked together on this design. It was so funny. I was like so nervous. Bryan Cranston was there, and Gareth was like, come on, man, like here's the poster. Come just cut the line. And the line was huge. He's like, come on. So I'm in there, and Gareth writes at the top of the poster, and I still have it hanging right here. It's really funny. He's like, oh, thank you for delivering our baby. Nice. I was like, oh, thank you for working on Godzilla, whatever.
Right.
And so then I went to Bryan Cranston next, and he read that, and he was like, deliver your baby? Are you a doctor? And I was like, oh, no. And I started like just clamming up. And I don't normally clam up for people. Like I don't care really about celebrity. I mean, it's not that I don't care, but I don't get intimidated by it. And in that particular case, I did. And I was like, oh yeah, Bryan Cranston. Yeah, man. I'm such a fan of your Breaking Bad work. And I used to love all the stuff you did.
Immediately went into fan dork mode.
Yeah, it's like
you're like, I brought a jacket because it's cold.
Yeah. I was like, but then I said, oh, I even loved you in Malcolm in the Diddle.
Oh.
Instead of Malcolm in the Middle, I said Malcolm in the Diddle, and he was just like, started laughing, and Elizabeth Olsen started laughing. I mean, it was all good fun, but I was God, I can't believe I did that. And then he signed it. He's like, oh man, awesome. And I told him, no, I actually helped design it. And they're like, oh, that's amazing. And then so they all signed it and all that. But that was like one of my celebrity moments where I was like, oh my God, like that's
awesome.
Howard Stern would be the one I just remembered. That would be a big one for me.
Oh.
You met Stern? That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's probably my last celebrity.
Yeah, I I don't get starstruck. Like when I meet people, I don't get all I've always, because especially what I do and like what Chris does, working around them all the time, you get to a point where you're like, they're just fucking people. They're just
100%.
Yeah. I mean, and so people will come up to me and they'll freak out over someone like, oh my God, Matthew Lillard, or just like, just go say hi, dude. Just fucking say hi to him, dude. It's like it's no big deal. Or they'll be like, oh, I don't want to bother him. I go, Matt, come here. And it's like, if somebody gets that, if a celebrity gets that bitchy attitude, I'm always the first guy to tell them to like, get over yourself. You know what I mean? Chill out. You're just a person. You just got more money than them. Whatever. So
most of the time, they're more full of shit than anybody. So.
Exactly. Yeah. So it really disappoints me when I hear some of those stories, like Chris just told, or of the Kobe Bryant thing, where it's like, you know what, man?
Yeah.
Fucking without us, you're nothing. I get it when you're walking down the street or you're going somewhere, you're going through an airport and somebody tries to stop you, maybe you're in a hurry, whatever. But when you're in a situation that's a controlled environment and it's
Well,
not
that's a
big deal.
social. That's a social environment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And you're working with the person.
yeah,
It's like, get over yourself if you can't. If
yeah.
you can't just
You don't
take
walk
it.
up to a celebrity at a urinal and start talking to them. You know,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
that's not something you do.
That's
but,
another topic. Who's the most famous person you ever peed next to? Mine, Ernie Hudson.
Topic for
And
another
Matt
have-
day,
Groening.
perhaps.
Matt Groening and Ernie Hudson are mine too.
Oh, wow, you
good
actually
one.
have
Yeah.
some.
Yeah.
I'm
That's my life, dude.
I know it happened recently, and I'm trying to think of. I mean, there's a lot of my clients I've peed next to that, we were like, let's go to the
It
bathroom
counts.
or something. But as far as something that I looked over and saw somebody I didn't expect, Ed Begley Jr. was one.
Ah.
I have one. Mine that I looked over and didn't expect was John Larroquette.
Oh, no shit.
I was like, oh fuck, that's John Larroquette.
I'd be like her invalid brother Franklin. I'd be start
I thought you were
doing
gonna
the
say-
opening to Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, yeah. I thought you were going to say Kurt Russell, and that was the twist to the story. And
No.
that's when I heard
No,
the
no,
laser
no.
disc, and that's why
You saw my laser disc.
There has been times I've been in a bathroom at a convention or something, and one of my clients is, and a fan comes in and starts talking to them while they're peeing, and it's just the most uncomfortable. Like, dude,
Oh.
please don't do this.
Do you feel
right now.
responsible to like dive in, even if you're peeing at the moment?
I mean, I'm not.
Do you ever cock block them?
No, I'm not doing that.
Literally.
But anyway, it's just it's
Yeah, yeah.
there. It's so uncomfortable to see uncomfortable situations happen.
That's it.
You
That's
know.
the
Yeah.
point.
It-
Yeah.
it- yeah. And
Try to coach 'em
sometimes
out of it.
I'll just sit back if it's one of if it's obviously somebody I'm tight with, like if it's happening to Norman Reedus or somebody like that, I'll sit back and just laugh to myself, and I will not save them. And they'll look
Nice.
at me to save them, and I'll be like, I'm just gonna watch this happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
You know, I can say that my enthusiasm growing up was that usually the people who I wanted to meet did something that I admired. You know, like you were saying, Chris, like musicians or like
Right.
you guys had achieved something that I hoped to one day as like I was 13, 14 meeting, right? And so now I still get like excited when I meet people like that because I remember growing up, I grew up in Miami, I live in Miami, and it's like the furthest thing from this business, right? And so it seems very remote, very distant, pre-social media and internet, and it feels like an impenetrable world if you want
Right.
to work in this. So whenever I would meet someone there, I'm like, proof it's doable, in my head.
Yeah.
And it would be like, and I remember when I started getting into, designing, my own artwork and all that, I used to cut out like action figure modeler magazine and put it on my wall. Like, just remember, like, oh, someone does this for a living. So if someone tells you you can't do it, clearly someone's doing it.
Right.
So for me, it's always that like it's just exciting that someone can achieve so much and have a whole career as an adult and pay their bills doing stuff that I remember vividly being told is just, a fool's errand to pursue.
Incentive and inspiration.
Yeah, 100%. Like there are symbols that you can do a thing that you want to do. That's what it becomes for me. Yeah, 100%.
It's crazy how, I was talking to somebody about this recently. We were talking about the evolution of conventions and stuff. And I was saying how when I first started going in the late 80s, there was no merchandise at all. All the merchandise you'd see at a horror convention was all bootleg, 100%. Model kits, T-shirts, everything was bootleg, VHS tapes. I mean, people don't know how good they have it now that they can walk into Target and buy horror movie action figures.
Hatchet figures.
Yeah, all of the amazing NECA figures that are sold there at Targets.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
like
it's in.
like you can go to a Target and get like a leather face with like a severed arm.
Totally.
Like that's how crazy it is now.
Yeah.
Like, it's
a
awesome.
Spirit
I love it.
Halloween,
Yeah.
This stuff wasn't a thing. The only place that had Halloween masks when I was a kid growing up was Spencer's.
Yeah, Spencer's
every
Gifts,
Halloween you go to Spencer's Gifts and they'd have the
Spencer's or like the mom and pop magic.
That's
store.
what I had.
Yeah.
You know, I had the mom and pop magic store that sold, the licorice chewing gum or you
can get a Batman mask or fake poop was the option.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
It was
who would have
all-
thought nowadays there's I mean everything
It's everywhere, endless,
Yeah.
everywhere.
I mean, I was just at the Mission Viejo Mall for lunch.
Mhm.
And I walked, and I hadn't really gone into too many of the stores there recently. And I went into a couple of the different stores, and every store had a horror section filled with
Yeah.
horror figures, pops, t-shirts, blankets, pillows. I was just
Yeah.
like, I was like, it was kind of tripping me out because I was, because right now there's been this huge Scream resurgence, right?
Mhm.
And every shop had like a huge Scream section, and I'm just like, what is happening with Scream all of a sudden? Why,
Yeah.
like even the guys in Scream, like Matt and Skeet and all them, are looking at me going, dude, what is happening? Why are
Yeah,
these
yeah.
lines insane now?
Why
Hit
do you
that
think?
cycle, like it did it
Yeah.
went like this, and now it's back right
Yeah.
here, right?
Yeah.
And it's it'll just, it's just like
Enjoy
Yeah,
the
yeah.
ride,
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
it's
can
funny 'cause
go
I
to-
remember being a Scream fan when the movie came out and you couldn't get anything.
Yeah.
No.
Nothing.
You can go to Target and get an Iron Maiden onesie
Yes.
Yes.
for your
You
toddler.
you can. Yes.
Or a Texas Chainsaw Massacre onesie at
Yeah.
Hot Topic. It's like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think
100%.
it's like we're all eating well at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
With horror, sci-fi, it's just kind of what people are everyone's just into it right now.
Yeah.
You can tell
And
because
it's
it's
awesome.
everywhere.
And you guys are riding that wave.
Ride the wave, man.
But
Yeah.
hopefully we get to continue that. I always tell Hector and whoever will listen that like this job is the best job I could ever imagine having, and the worst part about it is that I love it so much, and I'm like, oh my god, it's too good. Something bad is gonna happen. Like I just
Yeah, you're
I
gonna
don't
wake up
know.
one day.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
how I
And-
feel like every day. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't be so pessimistic. You're fine.
No. It's just
No, no.
cautiously optimistic.
They're right. It's
Good.
going to end.
It comes from us all. No, I mean, one of these. I think you guys saw these at Monster Palooza, but these are our bigger, like Nightmare
Yeah,
Demons, right?
those are
It's like
awesome.
getting the chance to do something like this, like I would have never thought when I was a kid, right? And I saw this movie probably when I was like 10 years old
Scare the crap out
for
of
the
me.
first time, and it's like I would never thought, 20, 30 years later, I was going to be making
Right.
an old school, Sofubi inspired take on these guys.
And it's kind of a crazy, weird coincidence that the first time I saw An American Werewolf in London at the Valley View Twin Cinema in Orange County, California, it was on a double bill with Halloween 2.
Oh,
Wow.
no way.
Wow.
Weird
It was meant
coincidence.
to be.
Yeah.
That's rad.
That's crazy.
And I had
Still
just
kind of
seen
expect-
Halloween 2 a couple weeks before for the first time on a double bill with the Funhouse.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
I love that movie. That
We
movie
need a Gunther pail.
Exactly.
Gunther. I would buy a Gunther pill.
Right over your
He's-
shoulder. Look, right over.
Yeah, right
Right
there.
there.
He's the next
There
one
he
to
is.
have a
And you can
Scream
do the
Renaissance.
alternate head with the Frankenstein.
That's
Yeah.
right.
That's the next Renaissance. It's the Funhouse Renaissance, right?
I
I'm
agree.
hoping,
8
It's
sequels.
kind of starting to have a little bit. I'm seeing masks. I'm seeing figures. a
but
little bit.
nothing
yeah.
licensed. You're not.
Nothing licensed. No,
Yeah.
no.
It's all bootleg. That's.
No.
But there's a lot of it all of a sudden.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to track down some of those licenses for the more like niche titles.
Universal. You guys should
Yeah,
be
yeah.
in with that. I mean, come on.
No, yeah, but then there's sometimes you will do some digging and find out that so and so owns the title, so and so owns the mask, so and so
Right.
owns the this,
Right.
and that and then you'll find out like, oh, that's why no one's doing it.
Yeah.
There's certain IP. I'm not saying Funhouse is one of those,
Yeah.
but like there are certain ones like that are tricky.
Yeah, they're
And,
all split up between 5 different properties, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think when you were saying, Hector, and I was going to ask you guys the same thing. I feel like there's a responsibility in a job like this, which is to be a steward of the property while you're working on it, and I feel that way when we're just working on figures, but I wonder if you guys feel that way, and Chris specifically, when you're working on like Halloween or whatever, do you feel like that kind of pressure at all? Or do you just think I'm working on it? Just working on doing my job.
no, absolutely, you feel that pressure, and absolutely you go into it. But like you said earlier, I go into it as a fan.
Yeah.
When I did Halloween, I went into it as a fan that loved it and my every intention was to take care of it and
Yeah.
to take care of that property, regardless of what I was getting paid or what the movie was. I just, because it was so near and dear to me, I wanted to take care of it. Same with Exorcist. When I did
Yeah.
Exorcist, I wanted to take care of it. I wanted to make sure that those girls look cool and lived up
Creepy.
to, what it needed to be. So, yeah, you just go into it with love and a fan. And I'm sure that's what you guys are doing with everything
Yeah,
that you do,
always. Yeah, always. That's why it's like we're so attached, and it's hard to to remove yourself sometimes. Like when things are well received, you're stoked and you're happy, and you have to
Yeah.
remember, all right, calm down. You can enjoy it today, but tomorrow back to work, right? And
Right. Yeah.
then when things don't go according to plan, it's hard to not like be like, I'm a piece of garbage and this is the worst and I've ruined everything. Same way, I try to stay in the middle right here, not get too
Right.
high or get too low, because it's hard, I imagine, to do it for years if you love it that much.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, I think what you were saying, Chris, it's like if you love the property and you have this sort of like responsibility as a fan, right? Because
Yeah.
you're a fan of it to like then honor it in the best way you can, right? As being a true fan of the property, and yeah, and this is what we kind of do every day, right? With our stuff here at Mondo, it's just we handpick the licenses and the IP that we want to work with. It's not just like, oh, here's something, do something for this. It's like,
no one dictates what we do.
Yeah, we're fans of The Thing. We're fans of They Live. We're fans of Halloween, American Werewolf in London, Masters of the Universe, Godzilla. Like that's why we make the product, right? And I think it shows because we put a lot of our, we put on our fan caps on, and then it just becomes, it feels authentic. I hope, because
it does feel authentic for sure, and it's for fans by fans, which is the way it should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, is there for each of you?
Yeah.
What is the Grail
the Grail property?
Property or what is the thing you guys want to make the most? If you right now I said, hey, I'm giving you can have one, what is it going to be?
Well, I will say that probably if you asked us, maybe Hector, if I'm speaking for you, correct me, but if you asked us like years ago, we would have said Godzilla.
Yeah.
And just to be able to work on it, and then to be able, and that would have been enough to be able to stylize something in our own style and say designed by each one of us. That is like out there. But Creature from the Black Lagoon was one, and we got to do that. And then, but right now I've been feeling like I really want to do some xenomorph alien stuff, some Predator stuff, and I'd love to do some Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 2 stuff.
Army of Darkness, yeah.
Those are my two favorite movies, Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness. Depending on when you ask me, it's the one or the other. But those, I mean,
like that. You're not wrong, Peter. For me, it definitely was when I've been at Mondo for almost 6 years now, and I was here when we got Godzilla, and it was pretty much like the year I started. So when that happened, I remember sitting in the office at the time when we had one, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to get to work on, like actual like Godzilla IP, like Toho Godzilla IP.
Yeah.
Right. I had done some freelance work in the past for some other companies, but at the time, Godzilla, no American company was really doing Godzilla merch, right? And Godzilla, especially stylized Godzilla. So when we got that opportunity, that was like a dream come true for me. And to this day, we're constantly working on new Godzilla stuff, which is, I have one open right here on my Cintiq right next to me, actually, that we're working on.
Just before this meeting, we were talking about something that we're designing and like it should look like, and sending each other references and things like that. So it's just so cool, man, to see your name next to it, because it just feels like validated, like I remember drawing Godzilla as a kid in my math class on my math notebook. Like I remember it, and then it's just a crazy full circle thing that
I will say I do have one that I think we'll probably never get, but it is Spawn. We could work on Spawn. Like that is it was my favorite comic as a kid.
Yeah.
I loved all the characters, all the figures that McFarlane did back then.
Yeah.
Groundbreaking, right? Groundbreaking for what it was. And that would be my grail. If we could do anything, even like
anything,
just a poster, I'd be happy with that. if we could put out the soundtrack for the original HBO show, right? Or
Oh, so
even
good.
the movie, right,
Yeah.
from the
Right.
90s. Like
The movie soundtrack was freaking awesome.
yeah, you
dude.
had like Metallica and Prodigy and making
Yeah,
one
yeah.
song together or whatever. It was,
Was it Corn on there too?
Corn was on it. That was the
Yeah.
first time I had ever heard Incubus as a band ever was on that
Incubus was on it
album.
too. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. So
Filter.
yeah, Spawn is that like I don't know if it'll ever happen for
Well,
like,
they're trying to do a new Spawn.
Yeah, but Todd is very protective of that. Like he
Yeah.
has his own company. Like, he's like basically saying like, "We'll do Spawn. You
Yeah,
guys are
yeah.
good."
right.
That kind of
That
thing.
would be my like, oh,
Yeah,
if
it'd
we
be
could do a
awesome.
Spawn 1/6 or something like that, right? With a fabric wired cape and
Yeah.
or even stylized soft vinyl Spawn stuff would be fun. So
Like
yeah,
this-
the Spawn is that one where I'm like, if we get it, that's it. I'll be like, all right, I'll work on this for like 2 years and then I'm done.
All right,
That's awesome.
back at you guys. Now I want to hear your answers to that.
Oh, what I want to see you guys do?
No, what you want to work on?
Oh, what I want to work on. Oh God.
You could have one thing.
Oh, there's so many. There's so many. I mean, I don't know. I kind of want to. I'm more like I want to do something original that resonates with somebody.
Yeah.
I don't really. I've done the Halloween and I did the Exorcist, and I've been. People ask me would I do Freddy Krueger. Of course I do Freddy Krueger.
Hell yeah.
If someone asked me would I do a Texas Chainsaw or a Friday 13th, of course I would. Yeah, because I grew up with that stuff, and if it was offered, I would probably do it, much to my chagrin. But I would do it because I love that shit. But I would want to try to come up with something original to do. Which we tried to do with Fear Street, but it didn't really.
Oh, dude. Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. Fear Street. Okay. That skull mask killer is my favorite design in horror.
It's a good one, right?
Dude, I have. I had it on a mannequin here all year last year. I just switched it out for Frankenstein, but I had the mask, the robe. It's one of my favorite. That skull sculpt is so perfect. And I'm like, what were you thinking? And what were you looking at? Because everybody does skulls all day long, but rarely do they just feel.
It developed through. It ended up being. There's a cover of one of the Fear Street novels with 3 skulls on it, 3 hooded skull figures. I can't remember what the title of that particular novel is, but I started off with it being a big baby head skull, like a weird deformed baby head skull, and it was supposed to be. That's what I wanted to do, but they thought that was a bit too much and a bit too weird. So we pared it down, and it ended up being what it ended up being, which I'm really happy with.
And I'm proud of dude, I rarely. First of all, I had no interest in watching that show when that happened. Yeah.
That's it.
I just pulled it up.
Yeah.
That skull sculpt though, like made it to me because I had no interest in watching that show. I thought it was gonna be like for kids or whatever, like, and not in a good way either. I'm like, and then I saw some trailer where he just kind of like looks up like that.
Right.
And I'm like, what is that? So good. So
did you end up liking it? Did you watch it?
Yes, I love all 3. First of all, all 3 of the movies are really good. They're super fun.
Yeah.
They're just easy to watch. The acting is great. I felt like related to those kids super well, especially in the 90s one was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
The kills were like, dude, there's a couple. I don't want to spoil it because people haven't watched it, but there's some kills in there. I'm like, this is not for kids.
Yeah,
won an award for one of those.
Yeah, I did. I won a chainsaw award for one of them.
Dude,
amazing.
Yeah.
It's so strong, man. I think I've heard people say that to me before that it didn't like really pop off, but I'm like, damn, I would love a skull mask killer figure, dude. I just want him so bad.
Somebody made me a 1/6 scale, a homemade one.
Custom?
A custom that they made me at a convention. They gave me one, and it's awesome. I love it.
That's awesome.
It's sitting right next to my. It's sitting right next to my Screen Use skull mask. So it's right there with the mask. But
amazing.
But yeah, I would want to do something original again. But I mean, if I had to redo something, if I had to work on something like a redo, I mean, I would work on The Thing. They're trying to get The Thing back up and running and going, and I would. And it's Blumhouse, and I would, since I've done so many Blumhouse things, I would love a shot at doing that. I mean, I wouldn't take the route Rob Bottin did, meaning, going through that stress and nervous breakdown and all that stuff. But I would certainly approach it in a ADI did a great job with the prequel. I thought they did a great job.
All their animatronics and everything that they
super
had
cool,
that.
Awesome.
super cool. But
I had my ADI was my first internship.
Oh, cool.
And they were in the process of building them or concepting out the maquettes, because I remember seeing the just Chavant clay sculpts in there, and I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be incredible.
Yeah.
And then they ruined most of them with CGI.
With CGI.
Yeah, unfortunately, because
So
there were some
chance,
beautiful props.
Go watch their videos they posted of all the behind the scenes stuff of the actual practical stuff. Man, there's so much good shit. I can't believe they ruined them with CGI. Not them, but the studio.
Yeah. Then that Swamp Thing show came out and had a really awesome thing homage to it. Did you guys see that show? Yeah.
I never watched that. I heard it was good.
What is it?
You should at least
the Swamp
Thing show.
Oh, I didn't see it either.
It's at least worth watching. I think the first episode has got a really awesome practical effect. That's a straight homage to the thing. It's pretty good for what it is. Yeah.
Cool.
But
I wanted to get into it, but when I heard it was canceled, I was like, well,
it's fine. You can still watch it.
That is not going to go anywhere.
Right.
It's still worth it.
Yeah. Okay.
To see Swamp Thing and practically moving around is awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Dirt rock, man. I've seen it.
That's awesome.
So, can you guys talk about any things that are coming?
Yeah. Let's see. We have. What can we reveal? Well, if you see the stuff we've revealed at Monster Palooza, right? Like we revealed the creature. We're hoping to get more in and deeper into that Universal Monster line and be able to do some companion pieces for him. There's been some cool stuff in the past, but I think it's been a long time since 1/6 Universals come out. And the whole industry has evolved so much that you could do so much more. I was just saying, like, our creature now versus the one from 4 years ago or whatever, it's like a totally different figure. So imagine the rest. And then, we talked, there's our vessels plans are good because, like you said, like there's so much you could do and it's a new form factor. Because sometimes that opens doors to licenses you may not have been able to play with in the past.
Yeah, it's kind of vessels are kind of like a blank canvas for potentially.
Yeah, for sure.
Really lead to some really cool, just fun takes on classic sci-fi or horror IP.
Yeah. But yeah, there's one that I can't specifically say, but I'll say that we're gonna show it off early next year, and it's an homage to not only the IP, but a specific era of collectibles of the IP that what we grew up in the 90s just over the moon about, that I think this audience would be so hyped to see it. So hopefully we'll have it available or to see at least at a con early next year.
Cool.
What is the next con you guys might be appearing at?
We're going to be at New York Comic Con. We'll be there. And then we're going to go to Designer Con in Vegas.
Have you guys ever, I mean, because you're both LA based, obviously, right? So have you guys ever done Designer Con before?
Never.
Oh,
it's a cool show, man.
Isn't it in Anaheim?
It was.
Yeah, they moved it this year to Vegas.
Okay.
But
when is it? When is it?
November.
It's like mid-November.
Okay.
But it's besides, I throw Monster Palooza up as one of my favorite shows, but besides Monster Palooza, Designer is up there. It's a great, if you're into designer toy or Sofubi, soft vinyl toys, that's the place to go.
Artist design, original designs. Like you'll see artists like coming out for the first time with rad stuff there. And then it's a funny show. I spend the most
money at that show.
Yeah, same. Exactly.
Do they have Kikaider stuff there?
You know what?
They might.
They might. Here's the thing, like Metacom goes right, and Metacom. They show off a lot of their Bear bricks, but they also bring a lot of their Sofubi from Japan. So sometimes they'll have like Mask Rider in there, right? Or a lot of Ultraman and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if a Kikaider made its way through at some point, right? Especially with Metacom. But yeah, it's one of those shows where it's just. It's got good vibes. It's a great show to pick up some weird toys. Some really kind of rare stuff.
I'd like to go, Sean. We should go.
Yeah.
you guys should
No,
check
When you
thank
see it all, those are the only shows that really can surprise you.
The last
Do
thing
a
I want to
Vegas.
do when
We'll
I
do
have
a
a
Vegas
weekend
trip.
off is go to a convention.
Just go to Vegas.
In
No,
Vegas,
just
no
going to a
less.
convention.
Period.
I'm good on
You're
conventions.
good.
Yeah,
Good on
yeah, yeah.
conventions. I'll go.
Yeah,
by
those are
myself.
those are the two that we're doing this year. The last two that we're going to be
Awesome.
New York and Decon.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate
Great.
you guys coming on and geeking out
Yes.
with us, and
Oh man.
Thank you.
and I'm looking forward to getting my non-variant Halloween 2.
We'll get you a variant.
We'll trade it. We'll swap it on the American Werewolf, so you'll get the exclusive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
give
there
me
you
go.
give him the regular version.
Yeah, the
Thank you guys so much for being here. We really appreciate it. It was really awesome to have you and talk about all this stuff. And we look forward to all the stuff you guys got coming up, and keep up the good work. You guys are killing it.
Oh, thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.
No, that
man.
means a lot coming from you guys. Seriously,
Yeah.
it was an honor being here, and an honor just hanging out and chatting and geeking out. You're saying it was just great. Thank you so much for having us.
Real
You
quick
got it.
before we wrap it up, do either of you have a get off my lawn? Because that's kind of our thing here.
We talk about that a lot, Hector. So like when we're talking about like how we're starting to feel old, you know what I mean? Like what are the things that we say? I was saying the other day, like what is going to be the thing that makes you freak out about the young people styles as you're getting older? Like what's left to, like, face tattoos are coming normal now, like, so like
Right.
what could shock you?
Right.
Yeah, I think when I saw what made me, I don't know if it's a get off my lawn, but what made me feel old was when I started finding out that people are representing themselves online with animated avatars and like dating that way and like meeting that way. I'm like, holy shit, that's so wild,
Yeah.
So I'm like,
It's
I guess
so
get off my lawn.
disconnected and
Yeah,
so
stay in your meat suit.
artificial and disconnected and sterile. It's so like I can't even think of how bad that must be. Jesus.
That's what I think it's going to be for me, as my old man moments will be like, digital what? Like she married an avatar? Like, that kind of thing.
We're into a robot. What?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What about you, Hector? You got one?
I mean, right now I think I have two kids, and my daughter, she's a teenager, and the word Sigma is like nails on a chalkboard for me.
What is that? What is that? I don't get
That's
it.
like
It's
cool.
just-
Like
it's
that's
just
awesome.
used as like the word cool, I guess now.
Like that's so Sigma, dude.
Yeah.
Shut
so
up.
you're Sigma.
You don't know
you're
that?
Sigma. You're so
I don't
Sigma.
know that.
I haven't heard that
Yeah,
one.
and it's
I
like
haven't
I'm
heard
like,
that one.
No, like stop.
I'm going to
Yeah.
use that. I'm going to use that on the Exorcist girls.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
I was gonna
I'm
say,
gonna
like,
go,
yeah, you
so
like-
Sigma.
Yeah,
if
so
you want to
Sigma.
drive
Yeah.
them crazy, start using their slang.
That's mine for sure at the moment.
I got one from the other day. If I go into an airplane bathroom and it's dirty, like there's toilet
Yeah.
paper on the floor, and
Yeah.
I feel obligated to clean it because I don't
So do
want
I.
that person to think I did it.
I'm the
Oh,
same
yeah.
way.
You know what
I'm
I
like,
mean?
I gotta clean this shit
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if
I
there's a
hear
line.
that. That's the worst bathroom to experience anything being dirty, right? It's
Yeah.
already small, like you're in a coffin, basically, right? Like, no, you
And
can't.
if you lift up the toilet and there's like a shit stuck on the
Oh, you're gonna
on the
clean that,
bowl,
dude?
and I'm peeing on it trying to
You
get it
aim
down.
you aim your pee to try
You're
to
aiming
get
at
in
it, trying to,
Yeah.
to clean it because you don't
Make a
want
bigger
people to
mess.
think you just shot one on there.
Does that rule apply to porta potties at an outdoor concert?
It does.
No, it
No,
does. I
it
don't give a
doesn't.
fuck at a porta
Oh no,
potty.
I
Yeah.
don't clean.
No, yeah,
porta
you
potties.
enter
God,
and
no.
leave as fast
I'll
as
walk
you
out
can.
and go, I did all
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's no man's land, man.
I can
You're in
leave.
there,
I'm
man.
stuck on a plane next to these people.
It still drives me crazy that it's fucking gross. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm like,
it's,
God, but
it's disgusting, but
Yeah.
I'm not touching anything.
No,
I'm
no.
fuck
avoiding
no.
any sort of touching in those.
well, my and also too those little sinks in the porta potties that you're supposed to
Oh yeah,
wash your
you have to.
hands
Yeah, you
in
like pump with your feet or
with the
something.
gross
and you're like,
water and
"What?"
there's no soap and you're like, what am I supposed to do with that?
And it tells
No.
you whatever you do, don't drink the water.
Right.
Like you would
exactly.
even consider it.
Someone
So I'm
had
gonna
to
wash
hold.
my hands with it
Yeah.
and then wait a minute.
Then touch your
what?
face. It's okay,
Yeah.
or eat food.
No, I just carry like hand sanitizer everywhere I go now. It's
Yeah.
there's no other way.
Yeah, right.
On that note of porta potties,
We're old.
Well, thank you again, guys, for
You guys
coming.
rock.
Thanks for playing the Get Off My Lawn with us. And,
Thank you.
And it was awesome having you. And again, you're killing it. Thank you so much for for my awesome.
Yeah.
You'll get one
Vessel.
soon, Sean. Apologies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mondoshop.com.
Mondoshop.com.
Go order that new Nada figure. That thing looks amazing.
Yeah.
And is there an exclusive with that one? Is there like a
Yeah. Well,
what is it?
It's
the
only
one that went
available-
up was a
yeah.
timed edition, so
Yeah.
It's
that
gone
one's
already.
sold
That
out.
one's
That
already
gone.
done.
Yeah, and we will have a regular edition that comes with less accessories up in a few weeks. So probably
yeah.
by the time Halloween rolls around, or by the
Yeah.
time
What were the bonus accessories?
The alien head.
the alien head. Okay.
Yeah, the alien, our what if alien head that we
The
were lucky
Elseworlds.
enough that Universal was like, yeah, you can make this, and we're like, oh my god, really? That
Did
and the shades with the aliens on it. That's like homage to the old
Cover.
the VHS cover.
Oh, okay.
Did you have
Very
to
cool.
get a license, like likeness approval from Roddy's estate or anything, or no?
No, not on that one. No,
No, that's cool.
Kurt Russell, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was
took
tough,
that took a
dude.
long time, but it was
Mm.
worth it in the end. But yeah,
He has a tough likeness.
He is
Very
a tough
hard.
likeness.
It was very.
yeah.
It was so we sculpted that four
pretty-
times.
yeah.
Four times before we finally. it
I'm
felt-
surprised only 4.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was in between those 4 times. It was like tweaking it a million times.
Yeah.
Right.
To
Right.
where we
The
got
best
to like,
sculptors
yeah,
breaking their brains.
some of the best
over it.
sculptors I've worked with trying to get it, and it took several to finally get to it. But
I think probably one thing that people probably don't know that aren't in this business is how frustrating it is when you have a sculptor that nails a likeness and the actor wants something changed.
Yeah.
And it makes them not look like themselves. 'Cause I know I've heard horror stories of certain people that they have done
wild.
that.
It's wild the notes that come back,
Yeah.
and then you just picture them, or you hear them in your head in the actor's voice saying it. It's some of the cringiest.
yeah,
Stuff.
it is, it's just part of the gig, I guess.
yeah.
Like you have to do your best, and then hopefully they like it, right? So
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much.
You're
for-
welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Perfect.
coming.
Awesome.
Again,
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
you guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
We'll talk to you
Appreciate
guys soon.
Yes,
Bye.
sir. See you
Take
guys.
care. That Nada figure is dope. Have you seen it yet?
No.
Look it up. It's basically like the McCready, but Roddy Piper. It's sweet.
Oh, that's badass. I think I got to get one of those. You okay? You didn't feel that interview, did you?
No, I did. I was.
Oh.
Did I not seem like I was enjoying it?
No, you seem like I'm just now when I asked you. You were
I'm overwhelmed and I'm tired and I've got like 10 fucking text messages while we're working and
Yeah, I got work calls while I was working too.
shit that I need to get done that I do not want to fuck with. I just would rather take a nap.
Yeah, take a nap. You'll be better after.
I got too much shit to do.
Take a little nap. Take a little 30-minute nap. 30 minutes ain't gonna kill you.
And I can hear the dogs. They're basically trying to get my attention because they want to eat.
Food for the puppies.
It doesn't work as good as food for the
It
kitty.
doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah. Food for the kitty is a good one.
That's a good one.
I thought I was the only guy that did those like dumb songs. I do a dumb song for everything.
So do I.
I don't want them to hear it.
Almost everything I do a
Because
song for.
Exactly. And they start to recognize it and they get excited.
Like if I make myself a drink, I'll go bottoms up.
So if I want to let them know that I'm going to take them for a walk,
Right.
I start doing, I think he just heard me say the word and I hear him like running in circles all of a sudden. I start to do the guitar part for the opening of the Pantera song.
Oh, yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. I do that.
I can hear them
and
barking.
He goes nuts. Yeah. Oh,
Well, let's
someone
wrap it up
distracted
so you can get your
Wrap it up. I'll take it.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Wrap-
Whatever happened to
wrap-
Fabulous Thunderbirds?
wrap-
My favorite
wrap-
band.
wrap. Your favorite band.
I've got a Fabulous Thunderbirds tattoo.
Do you? I was like, what?
I will say this: I was pleasantly surprised today by a youngster.
Yeah.
I walked into. As I said earlier in the pod, I mentioned I went to Mission Viejo Mall today.
Yeah.
Now I hardly ever go there, but I had to drop my car off at the dealership. It was right next to it, so I'm like, I'm gonna go get lunch at the mall. And I used to work there. 1989. I worked at Spencer Gifts. Spencer's has moved, and it's still there, but they've moved 3 times. It's not in the same place anymore. But when I was there, I walked into Spencer's. Is they had this huge, I saw this huge Scream display, and I was like, fuck, really? And it's so funny because you see like this huge Scream display, and you walk in and you look at the merchandise, and it's all like vulgar, like it's like there's like a hoodie with Ghostface giving the finger, and it says fuck around and find out. I'm like, are they really approving these as designs? Are these licensed?
It's weird.
I don't know if they are. I don't think they are.
I don't think so.
But anyway, I walked in there and I'm just looking around, and the girl working there said, "Is that a Twilight Zone sleeve?" And I was shocked.
Wow.
Yeah. And I go, "Yeah, it is." And I showed her, and she's like, "That's badass. I love Twilight Zone." And she was probably 20,
Right.
And I was just like, I said to her, it's very rare nowadays that people recognize it and know what it is,
Right. Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
A hip Gen Zer.
There was a hip kid at the Spencer's. I bought a few vinyls.
Oh.
Doing like Gary from Howard Stern, vinyls.
They sell vinyls there?
There's an FYE right across from the Spencer's.
Oh.
And I've never owned this on vinyl, and I picked it up.
Oh, wow. You've never owned that?
No, in fact, every time I see it on vinyl, it's like over $100. I mean, it's a reissue. Obviously, it was $46.99, which is
that's a great record. That's a great record. I just listened to that record about a week ago.
Yeah,
actually.
I picked that up
On vinyl. That's a good one.
and I picked up.
Little Tears for Fears.
I didn't have the reissue of this. I needed.
Oh, that's a good one.
I got Darren's calling me. I'll have to call him back. But yeah, I'm now trying to get every Sabbath and every Ozzy record signed by Ozzy.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a good idea. While you can.
And I didn't have this one. I mean, I think I have a shitty version of a shitty copy, but not a nice, clean one. So.
Right. I just pre-ordered the Tears for Fears live album, their first live album they're coming out with.
So get this, my old guitar player, Al Function, he's a guitar tech, and he works mostly with Clutch, and sometimes Spandau Ballet, believe it or not. But he told me I don't know if he still is or if it happened already, but last time we talked about 2 weeks ago, he said he was about to go work with Tears for Fears.
Oh, wow.
And I was
Now, they haven't played in a while, but they're going to be playing Vegas for 3 days in, I think, November or late October. I can't remember. They're doing 3 days in Vegas.
Well, I was hoping he was going on the road with them, get the hookup. But he said, "Oh no, I'm just working rehearsals for a buddy of his that I guess is their main guy. Needed some time off or something."
Oh, okay.
So I'm like,
damn, man.
But anyway,
all right.
Well, I guess until the next episode. Sorry we didn't really delve into movies this time. This was more of a toy episode, really.
Yeah.
But
a fun episode nonetheless, and
yeah,
I hope you guys enjoyed it. And we'll cover more movies and shit next time. We'll just have to remember what we didn't talk about, and try our hardest not to let 2 months go by before we do another show.
Yeah, hopefully remember I had sent you a message about an idea for now. I would like to, in our next episode, because by the time this is supposed to be coming out on October 1st. So if you're watching it the day that it premiered, it should be October 1st. And that's due to embargo on products that we discussed in this episode.
Happy Halloween season, everybody.
Yeah. So hopefully we can put out a Halloween episode
Yes.
before Halloween happens. And I would love to like do a little deep dive into both of our history with the holiday and favorite costumes and memories from Halloween. And let's just get nostalgic a little bit. I think it'd be a fun episode.
Okay. I don't have a lot of photos from Halloween when I was a kid.
I have a couple,
because
but
no one took photos of me when I was a kid, and we didn't have a camera, and we were really poor, so
yeah.
I missed out on all that cool, fun stuff. But I have lots of memories, and we can talk about all that stuff and talk about Halloween.
I think I have one. I have two Halloween pictures. I actually have one that I think might have been my first Halloween when I'm like 1 year old, and then I do have one from like age maybe 11. But like, yeah, there's so many I wish I had pictures of.
Me too. Oh man, me too.
And it's so funny though how what you remember and what it actually is.
Yeah.
Dude, wait till you see one of these Halloween costumes that I talked about forever. And in my head it was the best. It was the best. And then I found some pictures in my grandma's house that she had of the costume.
Yeah.
I wasn't even fucking close, dude. But in my head, I was screen accurate.
You're like, that's it. I'm screen accurate. This is the best.
Yeah. So.
All
right. We'll see you guys.
Thank you, everybody. Be kind to each other. Be cool to each other. Halloween forever. I don't know. What do we want to do?
I don't know. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you. Or as Jimmy used to say on HR Puff and stuff, they keep those letters and cards coming. See you next week. Yeah, so anyway, guys, thank you for coming on, and first off, introduce both of yourselves and what your roles are there at Funko.
Oh
man!
And I just want to say thank you. This is a great figure, but wait,
you're welcome. We sent it to you personally.
Let's do that over. Let's start
okay.
that
So,
over.
all right, yeah, retake. There we go.